And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome in. Good morning. This is Morning Ritual. This is our TTRPG show. And I'm one of your hosts, Anita. My pronouns are she, they. And to my right on the overlay.
I was hoping I could finish eating the beef that I had in my mouth before you got to me. But right as you turned it over to me, I still had beef in my mouth. I finished it, so I probably didn't even need to mention the beef thing.
No, probably not.
Here we are. I'm no more. I'm the other host. Beef-filled host. I go by he, they. The Bears won last week, or this week. Everything's good, and we have a fantastic host. I guess I'm not together yet.
It's all good.
Sarah, save me.
I would love to save you, pal. Hey, everybody, I'm Sarah Roberts. I use any pronouns, and I am more than happy to take the mic when someone has a giggle fest. Go Bears.
That's what's up. Go Bears.
Bear down.
Where did they play again? I know nothing about
Chicago.
football.
Chicago.
Okay.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is gonna be a fun one today.
This is gonna be a great one. So, Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, for those who don't know me already, hi, I'm a queer TTRPG streamer, performer, TikToker, YouTuber, Instagrammer. I do a lot of in-character cosplay stuff. I recently got to take one of my characters out into the wild, which was a whole lot of fun. If you want to see those are on TikTok and Instagram. And I also run a Apocalypse Keys game over on twitch.tv/indoor adventures that these two fine folks on the screen are in as two of my wonderful players at the table, along with Simon of Indoor Adventures and Sir Heckalot. And I also run a 5e homebrew campaign that highlights as many third-party published products as possible on Thursday nights. And I am in a Pathfinder campaign where we are learning to play Pathfinder in real time with the audience. It's a lot of math.
Hell yeah.
So a friend of mine posted something on posted a tweet about Pathfinder, and I have to ask you, how do you feel about this? Because I think it's a very accurate statement, which is Pathfinder to D&D is like automatic to manual in driving.
I know who tweeted that, and I agree. Comparing the two,
shout out to PJ.
Yeah, PJ, you're awesome. I think comparing the two, Pathfinder gives you the character you want to play starting at level 1. That's my feeling on Pathfinder.
That's another good bar.
Yeah, it's so customizable. It can be it was very overwhelming for me. There were so many choices.
For sure.
Oh yeah. So I basically asked someone like, hey, this is what I want to do, and they just said, here, go do it. And handed me what to do, which I greatly appreciate. But yeah, it's definitely you get what you want from the get-go. Whereas 5e, you're waiting like 4 levels to get what you actually want to play.
It's that subclass.
It's nonsensical. So I want to get into the cosplaying aspect of all the things you do, because that's where I found you. That's where I found you first. So you have a mushroom character that I think might just be your most very popular one.
Mushrooms? Never heard of them.
I want you to know that to me, it's like talking with Clark Kent and going, so when you do the Superman thing and you just turn around and pull out the S, like, oh, you mean this? Like, that's how iconic that has become.
The Hype Goblin's here, and now it's Lowry Moon. Where'd the Hype Goblin go? Yeah, no, I get it. I've had people. It's really funny when I get recognized out in public, because there are people who they recognize the hat before they recognize me. I wore her to the Renaissance Fair. I went twice this year, and I wore her the first time I went. And I saw them looking at my hat, and they were doing like one of these around some other people, just going back and forth. And I could see like there was some kind like they were either gonna come up and ask me like where'd I buy my hat, or they recognized me. It was one of those like
The gears
you know
were
it's
turning.
coming. Yeah. I could see the thoughts moving behind the eyes. And she was incredibly sweet. And she came up to me and, do you do Instagram? I was like, yeah, I'm the Hype Goblin. She's like, oh, okay, I follow you. So it's really funny that it's always the hat that gets noticed. Like no one knows what this is. It's either the hat or the hot pink hair. But yeah, she's fantastic. I love this hat.
What's it like to have a character like take off like that? I mean, I feel like it's almost a little different than like an actual play.
Mhm.
Like I feel like your TikTok characters are like as known as like some of the more popular actual play characters, because the
Mhm.
average actual play character, yeah, nobody can just like spot it, you know?
Yeah, like the average actual play, you are showing up for the performer, I always say. The story and what everyone does at the table, typically from what I've experienced, comes second. You're showing up for that, like I'm showing up for Noir because I like everything that Noir does. I think Noir is funny. I think Noir is a delight to have at a table. Like that's the person that I'm showing up to watch. Sorry to single you out, but you are a delight to have at a table. Everyone,
It's
put
not
Noir at
true.
your
I'm
table.
awful. I'm awful. I'm a diva.
Oh no, did we lose Sarah again?
I thought I was the one that was lost. Okay. All right. We might have lost
Oh
to
no, we're
Sarah.
good, we're
here.
good, we're good.
I'm
we're
here.
good.
Oh, we're
You just
good.
froze for a
Woo.
second.
Hi. But yeah, it's definitely a different feeling entirely. It's Lowry Moon. That character actually was created for an actual play. She was created for Wild Beyond the Witchlight on Indoor Adventures channel because I had recently I had this idea of playing a character who wanted to become a hag, or was in the process of becoming a hag. And I wanted to explore what that kind of journey would look like. So she was created to be very storybook-like for the setting, because when I think Witchlight, that it just has such a storybook feel to it as far as adventures go. And as I started creating more content with her centered around the show and centered around TikTok, it was just like she is now one of the most beloved things that I have put on the internet. Like people, when I don't post about her, people start asking where she is.
Where's Lowry?
I kind of figured you must get that, and I kind of wonder, is that something? Do you take that as like a compliment, like, oh, they love this character so much, or is it just like, hey, I've got other stuff that I can do too? Like,
It's very easy. I think it would be very easy to get a little jaded that people like this one thing so much when I put other things out there.
Mhm.
But she's not the only one that I get it for.
yeah,
And-
you have a rust.
Yeah, I do. I've never even played my bard publicly other than just a one shot here and there for charity. But everyone knows my blue-haired elf. And I get questions
Yeah.
about her. People really love Lucy, who I've been playing in an actual play for nearly 4 years now. And if I change things up with her, like people notice. I take it as a compliment. That's something that brings a lot of comfort and joy to me personally, is being recognized by other people, and they are finding comfort and joy in the way that I play these characters online. It's like having I guess for some people it's like having a favorite like character in an anime or
Yeah.
in another cartoon. So I take a lot of pride in the characters that people identify with, and I really enjoy just being able to make people smile, because the world
It really
sucks.
does. It really, it's such like fun, happy, quick content. And I'm like asking like all these serious questions about it, but
No, go for it.
I do wonder, like, are you ever approached by GMs that are? I'm trying to figure out how to ask this, but do you ever feel like you're approached by GMs that have different expectations of you because of what you're able to do with these characters? In the sense, like, have you ever been invited to a game and had like a GM just expect you to cosplay, like something to that
No.
effect?
Mm-mm.
Good.
I
Good.
I think
Because
they
I was
just
the follow-up question was gonna be what's their name? Where can I find them?
no, but I mean I do. And I'm very glad that people put up with my BS and don't mind that I will just randomly reach over and pull out a wig. It's something that always brings comfort for me, and it kind of helps with I found it help a lot with like the parasocial aspect of being a person on social media, because there are a lot of people who have trouble differentiating who I am from who my characters are. And when I don't look like me, it's much easier to explain, no, she's playing a character. This isn't Sarah right now. Sarah is not, going off and just murdering some bad guy in the middle of the night as a rogue. Like
That's what somebody who goes off in the night murdering would say.
I mean, look, do I look like a criminal? Be gay, do crime, everybody.
All the time.
Yeah, but no, it's something I don't think anyone expects me to do it, but when I can see, like, I've had it happen at my table now, so I'll speak from my experience. I won't speak for the GMs that I've played for, although they have complimented me for doing that. As someone who has currently 2 players that are hardcore cosplaying their characters at the table, there is something just so delightful about seeing that much effort going into something, whether it's on stream or not. It has just been so much fun for me to see someone else do it. So if people feel like that when I show up to do it, I'm gonna keep doing it every single time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I, as a GM that has had a cast just decide on their own, we're gonna cosplay. It warms the old heart.
Mhm.
Reminds you that ticker's still going.
Mhm.
So the next question is,
Mhm.
I'm just firing them off.
Go for it.
I've had a couple for you, which is, do you have a character that's established with the costuming and everything that you have not had a chance to put in an actual play?
Delilah. I would love to play her in an actual play. I haven't had the time yet, and I haven't necessarily been with the right table yet. She is a character that is a young elf, and I play her as a young 20-something who thinks they know everything about the world but doesn't know jack squat. So she can cause a lot of problems, and it takes a very special table to be able to put up with that. And I was very fortunate that the table that I started her with was totally down for that concept. And she's a lot of fun, but I just don't have the time to add another actual play onto my schedule. But I would love to play her in an AP one day.
So what comes first, the concept or the costume?
What color hair I want to have?
Nice. Good choice.
Delilah started just because I saw a hairstyle on Pinterest that was like this high bun with like the one side braided back and just like the hair kind of in the face, and I was like, I want to do that. And then I saw the blue wig and I was like, I want that. Lucy started as I wanted to be like that very stereotypical like Instagram pretty honeypot of a spy, because she's supposed to be she's supposed to be the character that like can draw people in and just be like very pretty and unassuming, which works out pretty good for that table too. So I went with her blonde wig on that. And I've played some others where I had the wig first and I had no idea what the character was going to be until I started playing them in game. I just picked the wig and the name and threw on some clothes.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
This will be my last question in terms of the costuming and cosplay for a bit.
Okay.
So how did you? This is such a dumb question. How did you learn to? How did you learn to do makeup like that? I have been on an adventure trying to learn makeup, and it's hard as shit. Like how did you think? Like, is there training, or is it just? You just picked it up? Like, how?
It's a little bit of training. It's many hours watching YouTube tutorials and adapting them to my own face. But I was a theater kid doing 4 productions a year for about 10 years. So for musicals, plays, everything. I learned a lot of theatrical makeup from that. I went on to go to cosmetology school. Later in life, I went back to school at 30, which was an experience, and got my cosmetology degree. And I learned more techniques from some really wonderful makeup artists that I went to school with. But a lot of it is just trial and error and learning what works for your face type, your skin type, different formulas that you enjoy working with, because there's a lot that works for me that I just don't like working with. So it's just many years of just trial, error, and a whole lot of failures, honestly.
Okay, thank you. That's actually reassuring because every time I try to put eyeliner on, like I stab myself in the eye and I'm crying black
Eyeliner's
tears.
tricky.
I'm like, fuck this.
I will, next time you want to put eyeliner on, I will give you some tips and tricks and help you out. We can hop on a call together.
you only
That would
if you
actually
want to see
be
a grown man cry. Ah!
That'd be a fun live stream. It's just like the two of you sitting and like teaching how to do makeup.
I did a really fun live stream once where one of my mods, he was visiting me and he doesn't know very much about makeup, and I made him do my makeup on stream. I looked wild.
When Periscope was still a thing and I was starting my makeup adventure or whatever you want to call it, it looked bad. At the end of it, I looked like Gomez from the Addams Family mixed with like Pennywise.
Amazing.
And the saddest moment of my life is Persephone joined the chat because somebody was like, she's got to see this shit. And she torched the shit out of me.
Gosh, I bet she did.
That was so bad. Anyway, so I'm wondering, how long have you been in the TTRPG space doing actual plays and the like, and do you have a favorite system?
How long have I been in it? I know Simon's in chat, so he can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 2018 or 2019 when Indoor Adventures, Simon, our good buddy, ran me through my very first 5e game live on stream. Okay, fantastic. And I remember because I had to have him pull the VOD because it had my legal name on it. Yeah. I don't recommend anyone, first of all, if you're listening, do not play your first TTRPG ever live on stream. It was a fever dream. I don't remember what happened, but I lost my arm and I had a good time. I think so far my favorite, honestly, I'm really loving our Apocalypse Keys. That system is really surprising me every time we sit down to play it. It's very narrative focused, which I like. I don't play 5e or Pathfinder like a wargamer, which I know will make some people cringe. But like if I don't roll at all during a 5e game and I just get to sit there and RP, like I'm having a good time. But I think Apocalypse Keys so far has been my favorite system to run and to play in.
We have a correction from chat, July 6, 2019.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Simon.
And also, Sam Delev in chat says, okay, but what about one's second TTRPG? It's totally different, right?
Second's all good to go.
My second, what did I play after? I played a lot of 5e after that because that's just what was available to me. I think, do we count Honey Heist? I think Honey Heist was the next thing after that I was invited to play.
I for sure count Honey Heist.
Okay, I love Honey Heist, so like hell yeah. But yeah, I've played that. I really like the little one-page RPGs.
Yeah, one page is a with Grant Howlett. Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Guy just cranks them out. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, there's Adventure Skeletons is really fun too.
Also, shout out to you, Indoor, for pulling a VOD because a player requested it. I have seen channel's reluctant to do so. So
Mhm.
respect to you. That's
Simon's one of the. Let's love on Simon for a minute because he is in chat right now, and I want him to hear this because he didn't
Simon's
hear
a
it
good-
when we did it at Gen Con.
seriously,
Um,
everybody. If you're not following Indoor Adventures, I implore you to
Mhm.
go follow Indoor Adventures. One, because it's a great channel. Two, because me and my friends hang out there and we play a cool game.
Hell yeah. That is literally where I've met all of my close friends in the TTRPG space. They are so kind and loving as a community. If you are looking for a place where you can show up and just be yourself and be loved for who you are,
Yeah.
go hang out with Simon and everybody at Indoor Adventures. And to steal, oh, don't choke on your coffee, Simon. But to steal a line from Simon, today is November 7th, 2023, and you are loved. And that's how he starts every single stream.
October.
October. It's October. I know time.
It's all good.
Wait,
I was like, if it's November
I didn't
7th, I
even
gotta
catch
call my
anything.
dad.
Oh, if it's November, nothing happens.
No.
Nothing happens. Oh no, I would have missed Joy's birthday. Oh,
Yeah,
I gotta
that's your kidney.
buy-
That's your kidney.
Yeah, that's my whole kidney right there. Anyway, back to it. So have there been any surprises in your time in the space? Like the longer you're exposed to it with, collecting a bigger and bigger community, have there's been anything that's kind of sideswiped you where you had to adjust your life?
Well, I think figuring out how to take a hobby and go from it being a hobby to being my job has been
From a hobby to a
Really?
jobby to just a job.
yeah, because I do this full time. Shout out to my partner who allows me to do it full time.
Okay.
Yeah, gosh, Jake gets gold stars all across the board. But I think that's been the hardest part, and I've talked to this about a few times with friends who have been doing this longer than me, and just learning how to reach out to people that you have admired for several years or longer, and they have become your peers,
Oh.
and figuring out like just figuring out like when you go from becoming just another face in the crowd to becoming someone's friend and becoming someone's like respected peer has just been so difficult for me because I am neurodivergent and I struggle with social cues very much. So I never know, like, until you I have told people, like, I need you to tell me that we're friends, because if we're just work acquaintances, that's okay. I just need to know, if I need a cup of sugar, can I walk over to your house and ask you for a cup of sugar like we're friends?
Yes.
And I think we need to, I think more people need to normalize that. But like once someone like is like, yeah, we're friends, or like they reach out via DM and they just like start chatting with me, and like I can kind of like, I'm kind of like, okay, this is like a friendly conversation. We're friends now. That's been the hardest part for me, honestly, is figuring out where that line is, because everyone's different. And I don't want to make anyone else in the industry like feel uncomfortable because I think we're friends and we're not.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, you mentioned that you were able to make that transition from
Mhm.
from hobby to job.
Mhm.
What did that look like for you?
Well, for me, it looked like graduating from beauty school and the pandemic immediately hitting. My
That'll do
job
it.
shutting down because of it. Yeah. So for a solid couple years, because we did get some assistance from the government during that time, and it was just enough that I didn't have to go find work,
Mm-hmm.
because I am also chronically ill. I have a chronic lung condition that is, knock on wood, hopefully mostly under control right now, but it was very safe for a while for me to go out in public, or very unsafe for me to go out in public. And my partner and I just decided, you know what? TikTok has taken off. Let's see where this goes. So that's when I really hit the ground running. and he has been very wonderful and supportive of me making essentially nothing for a couple of years as I grow this business and earn the trust of an audience, to be able to do things that I genuinely love every single day.
Nice.
I mean, you're really good at it.
Thank you.
TikTok Takeoff is a fantastic song title. You're right, Sam.
So, if there's any advice that you would give yourself at the beginning of this journey, like if for some reason you're able to FaceTime yourself when you just started, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh gosh. The advice I would give me is, if they don't have your phone number or they don't have a way to DM you, their opinion does not matter.
Damn.
I'm
gonna write that down.
Please do. I'll remind you of it if you ever need to.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing that was one of the hardest struggles for me, is realizing that the opinions of the peanut gallery who are gonna leave something nasty in my comment section and then I'll never see their name pop up again. I used to take a lot of that to heart. I do project a lot of confidence, but on the inside, I am just a squishy little nugget who gets their feelings hurt very easily. So luckily, with a whole lot of therapy, I have moved past that and found that I can just shrug that off now. But previously, I couldn't. There was a point where it was so bad on TikTok that I had to hand over the moderation of my entire account to a friend of mine who I trusted, because I was getting harassing comments daily. I was just being bombarded with them. But
I'm
now
so sorry.
it was during that time where just everybody went through it. And I'm incredibly thankful for my friends. Shout out RJ, who took on that for me. Even though there's no money to be passed along, they didn't care. They just wanted to make sure that I was safe. And you know what? I got through it. And now my skin's thicker and okay, say whatever you want to me. I don't care who you are. I'm just going to block you and you're not going to get the cute elf girl content anymore. Sucks to be you. I am very protective of my peace on the internet now. I've
Hell
blocked
yeah.
people left and right.
You have lost your elf girl privilege.
I have blocked people who have followed me for a long time because they can't, get it together and treat me like a human being, and just, okay, bye.
God, and
This
it's
is my-
always
Go
it's
ahead.
always some anime avatar followed by like 12 numbers.
Right? But my theory is, and I tell my friends this too, who try to get into like doing stuff online more, don't, like, the clapback feels really good in the moment, but it only creates a cycle of pain.
Yeah.
Because someone who's trolling you, they're not in a good headspace. There's something going on in their life that, they don't have it good. Happy people don't troll folks on the internet. So you clapping back is just, it's either causing more pain or it's validating them. Just delete them and move on with your life. That is the best thing that you can do.
Yeah, I feel like those are the kind of people that are so far gone that they can't tell the difference between good attention and bad attention. So any
Yeah.
attention is attention. So
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah, don't be a reinforcer.
Yeah.
and like if you are good at no, I'm just kidding.
If you are gonna troll, at least be clever about it.
Right?
No, I'm just saying,
Be original.
I'm saying use your powers of evil for good. Troll people that should be trolled. There are politicians and people that make decisions on TikTok. Go, my children!
I would like to direct you to Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk specifically. Please.
Listen, the other day I was scrolling through TikTok and Ben Shapiro came across my FYP and I'm like, fuck this! Fuck all of this! Burn it to the ground! That's why I have not checked TikTok since.
Gross. I'm so sorry.
Immediate block. Burn it to the ground.
Ooh.
You know, the thing I love about TikTok is like I imagine TikTok being like a big mall, and there's like the fun side of the mall with the food court, and the arcade, and like the too cool
Mhm.
store and all that kind of stuff. And then the other side of the mall is just dark and we don't go there. And sometimes you get lost. And you
Sometimes get
find
turned
yourself
around.
you find yourselves in parts that are nightmarish, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
You find yourself in that
Sometimes.
one real sketchy dollar store.
Like you start looking around like, oh my god, I'm in a Bass Pro Shop.
I was just gonna-
Somebody help me.
I was gonna say that that the side of TikTok that is like the movie reposts or the TV show reposts
I
with
hate
like
that.
those ones. That's like the sketchy dollar store with the knockoff toys.
Mm-hmm. It's Barbie, but it's just named
Babs.
Barbara. Babs.
Barbara.
Which I think Barbara is actually Barbie's real name. If I
Yeah.
remember correctly. But yeah, the off-brand Barbie doll.
Other side of the wall. I love you, Sam.
Album from Dark Side of the Moon, fantastic album. Albeit probably not the album TikTok takes office on.
Okay, we're gonna have to have someone actually like write this album now.
Yeah.
The wall is just about TikTokers who are supporting the wall and all that kind of shit.
Oh,
Like, God,
no, I hate it.
no. All right, we need to steer this ship somewhere else because I don't like where we're going.
I'm gonna hug my emotional support frog for a minute.
Let me hold the skull cat for just a moment.
And I've got Pluto. You know, I think if you can't just reach out and grab a stuffed animal, I don't know that I trust you.
Right?
I mean,
I have a
got two
couch
in
covered in
reach.
squishmallows. I have another one too. This one's my gayer one. Hang on. She's a little rainbow and she's winking.
But get there eventually. Burn the church.
Hell yeah. Straight to the ground.
I almost brought this into work, and then I realized that probably would be a bad idea. So, anywho, so you know what? They can't fire me if I bring. Anyway, I'm sorry. I get easily distracted. ADD. All right, so we have some established questions, and before I go into this, I need you all to understand that Sarah may have pulled the most ultimate power move we have ever experienced from a morning ritual guest, which is last night I got sent a TikTok of a cat eating dice. So I already know the answer to this question, but I still have to ask it, and that in lies the power move.
Would it be easier if the question came from me instead?
Yes, please.
All right. Sarah, in the TTRPG space, there is a war between those who believe dice are tools for calculating odds and percentages and dealing damage. Then there are those who believe that dice are the forbidden candy, meant for the nom-noms, to be crunched upon, meant to deal damage in one's mouth, perhaps, some might
I
think.
like how cute you're making crotch sound right now. Sorry, continue.
So, we must ask this question. Sarah, the Hype Goblin, Roberts,
Yes.
what side of this war are you on?
What's Noir's favorite color?
Don't you fucking do this to me. What is my favorite color though, Anita? Do you know?
I do.
Okay.
It's the same color as my background. It's purple.
God damn it.
Oh. Like this?
No!
Like this one?
Betrayal.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
I've got this one too. It's more of a berry.
Emotional damage.
You're welcome.
I will never forgive you for this.
More shoddy. I have a new favorite channel.
That's the ASMR we came for. Don't support this. All of you are blocked. How will you block our audience?
I mean, I
All
can
I-
time them out.
All I will say is that there is a proper way to troll your friends, and this has been an example of it.
This, in case any of you are wondering, this you won't be able to hear it, but maybe you'll be able to see it. This is the TikTok I got. It says POV of
You made the mistake of bringing.
you
me
make
into
the
game
mistake of
store.
bringing it to local game store.
You could put the link in chat
Oh yeah.
for those who want to hear it. For those, if you want the full experience.
Warning for anybody that has misophonia for crunching sounds.
I don't know that it's food crunching sounds though. Was
It's
it
almost
food
like
crunching?
ice.
It sounds like
It sounds
Yeah,
like
it sounds like
they're
ice.
chomping ice.
it's definitely not whatever the cat is actually eating.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just so happened that last night that popped up on my For You page, and I was like, TikTok knows what I'm about to do tomorrow. It knows. It sees you when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake.
Like
Is TikTok
today's
I think so.
today's episode of Morning Ritual is kind of like watching The Ring and like the 6th day. You know what's gonna happen tomorrow, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Let me just yeah,
Ugh.
it did trigger Nikki's misophonia. And I don't really get it.
The
and
crotchers
it-
are evil. The crotchers are evil. They must be stopped. They don't care. They don't care. They just they want their crotching. And
There's the TikTok if anybody wants to watch it, but yes, there is a content warning for misophonia.
they're just laughing at the madness that he's created. I just
You thought I was coming here to entertain your audience. I'm coming here to entertain me. So
That's how you win the game, really.
it is. And you've all lost the game.
I'm here for my own entertainment.
So when are you playing the villain? Like, when are we getting a good villain character?
I mean, you just haven't gotten to that part yet in Apocalypse Keys.
Oh God.
Uh-huh.
We have a whole overarching plot that's just hanging over us, like the sword of Damocles. And we're just like, if we don't pay attention to it, maybe nothing bad will happen.
That's kind of we always wait till the last second to try and solve the mystery too, and like it hasn't worked out well for us last time.
There have been clues in every single episode so far.
I know. I've been keeping note. I've been keeping track of them.
Listen, I keep telling people I'm dumb in Spanish. Like, my dumb is fancy.
Don't worry, you got a note taker at the table. You're fine.
I'm not taking notes, but my brain takes mental notes.
Wait,
It locks
who's-
things in. So
Oh.
there's Project Adam. There's reference to the apple several times. There are the people that keep showing up and dropping things off. There's that file that was someone that looks very much like Eden but wasn't Eden. There's a bunch of
Y'all
big
should watch
ol'
our
clues.
Apocalypse Keys game. It's fun, and
Check it out.
we're
Yeah, yeah,
fucked. We're fucked.
watch me give these two anxiety week after week.
I am in eternal freak out mode. My character is very cool, calm, collected, and like will not show much emotion, but I am freaking out behind the scenes.
I think you all yelled at me after the game. last time.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you know we care.
That's how you know we care.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I think that's actually true. Like, if you're a GM and your party never goes, "Oh, you piece of shit," I don't know that you're really killing it.
If you don't end a session and everybody starts screaming at you after the camera's cut.
We don't
I-
wait.
I have started saying, like, when people ask about my GMing style, it's whatever this is when the session ends, because apparently I'm really good at cliffhangers.
Yeah. There you are.
Oh my! I think insults are the ultimate love language for GMs.
Mm.
How
'cause
dare
I've-
you?
I've never.
I get indignant.
I think the sweetest thing anybody's ever told me as a GM is, "I would murder you I would murder you." Except that if I did, I wouldn't get to figure out what happens next.
I think that might have been Darby.
I'm pretty sure that was Darby. Oh God!
Like, Noir, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fucking fight you. Noir, you're dead to me. You're dead to me, but I have to finish this section.
So that leads to a great question, which is what Sarah, can you recall a time where a GM has like urged you the most?
Like in a fun way or in a not fun way?
Oh,
fun way.
in a fun
fun
way.
way.
Where
We
it's
get to
just
the
like,
not fun way
Um,
later.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about the not fun way. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I know there have been some, but they don't. Oh, my very first campaign that I was ever in. My friend Jen was running it, and I think she took it as her just opportunity to bully me. Because immediately she tried to kill my character's dad.
what the fuck?
We saved him, and it was a lot of fun. But I'm pretty sure she ended on a cliffhanger where we figured out that he was in peril. Yeah, I think that's my most WTF moment. That was a fun one.
That sounds like a fun one.
Yeah.
How about you, Anita? When's the time a GM has like done something in a game that you're like, that's great plot wise, but gets the aggro going, where you just want to strangle them?
Oh, easy. Anytime I play with you. Hello, Raiders. Welcome in. The last time specifically was after I died and found myself in the heart of my own sword.
That was a pantsless raid.
Hello,
I'm
Sassy
here
Pants
for it.
1996. Welcome in, Pantsless Raiders.
Do I have to take my pants off?
Also,
And-
thank you very much for welcoming me into SideQuest. It's good to be in Team SideQuest. I do accept my quest. But yes, I woke up in the heart of my own sword, facing down against the person that held it before me.
all the people.
Ooh.
So, just to elaborate, Anita's character, Yenna, was a paladin who had a holy avenger, and was kind of leaning on their deity a little bit much for trying to help. Like, hey, could you help me? Hey, could you help me? And it got to the point where Yenna fell in battle. And the way this sword worked is all of the people that wield it resided there for eternity to lend their strength to whoever would wield it the next time. And so Yenna had to run the gauntlet of everyone who ever used that holy avenger. And the lesson was, you got this. We wouldn't let you use this sword if you couldn't handle what was happening. Stop looking for help. You got all the help you need right here.
I love that. That is such a good idea. I might steal it.
Please do. Please
Okay.
do.
That's a
and
fantastic idea.
one of the things that I love that Anita did was I gave Anita the Holy Avenger, but Anita changed the name of it.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so,
It actually had
I'm-
2 different names.
yes, because it awoken.
Yeah.
It was in a dormant state, and then this happened, and it kind of awoken. And so that just became part of the lineage of the sword. This is a sword that has gone by many names throughout history.
Yeah,
Because
when
whoever
Yenna
wields-
started, Yenna was actually a Hexblade Warlock.
Yes.
Okay.
Yenna was a, or was it Pact? I think it was Pact of the Blade Warlock, and with the Hexblade, and the Hexblade's name initially was, the Waking Chorus was the first name.
Yeah. No, that was the last
Oh no,
name.
it was Dreamsinger was the name of the sword the first time. And because it came to her in a dream and she woke up holding the sword, so she called it Dreamsinger. And after it awokened, it was the Waking Chorus.
I love that.
Also, Sassy Pants says, "Hi, Sarah. Huge fan."
Oh, thanks for being here.
Seriously,
yeah.
thank you guys
I
for being
appreciate
here.
you. Yeah.
So now that you've answered the crotch question and
Mhm.
broke my heart doing so, purple dice. That was the cherry on top. I have follow-up questions. Usually
Mhm.
there's a good follow-up question, and then there's the punishment follow-up question. So I'm gonna give you the punishment follow-up question first.
Bring it.
You get to play with any 5 people that are alive right now. You get to choose who's the GM and what system you're playing. You don't count towards the 5. What's that table look like?
Let's see. Okay. I am so bad with names, but I can see the faces in my head. Hold, please.
If you give like
Um,
brief descriptions or something that they've been in, I might be able to put a name to it.
Okay.
No promises.
The GM is Stephen Colbert, because we've seen him play D&D, we haven't seen him GM yet.
That's an incredible pick.
That's a good
Mhm.
pull. Good pull.
Next would, for the players, I would pick I can see him in my head. He was in Rent.
Oh,
Anthony Rapp?
and Anthony.
No,
yeah.
no.
Oh.
Hang on. Original cast of Rent. Give me photos.
And it's not Anthony Rapp, so now I'm curious.
No. Oh, he wears the beanie and the trench coat. I can't think of
the black guy.
Yeah, I can't
Oh,
think
he
of
was
his
so-
name.
He's got a new show out too.
He does.
I know exactly who you talk about. That, and also that's a fucking amazing pull. Oh God, I know his name. Oh,
It's not Tay Diggs. Tay Diggs plays the
No, he plays the dickhead.
jerk. Is it Jesse L. Martin?
No.
No.
Hold on. I've got it here. I'm trying to make sure we beat the audience.
No, it's Jesse L. Martin. It's Jesse L. Martin. I found a photo.
Oh, okay. You got him. Yep.
So Jesse L. Martin.
He's so good.
He is.
He's
He's
so
good in
good.
everything. Sticking with the Rent cast though, Rosario Dawson would be my next pick.
Fair.
Because she does comedy so well, and she's not in many comedies. The next would be Martin Short.
Oh, good pull. Good pull.
And
This table is incredible.
and the last one would be Selena Gomez, because I have really enjoyed her in Only Murders in the Building. And I think she needs to do more off the cuff stuff, because she is so much fun going with 2 comedy powerhouses. So I think that would be my table.
What game are you playing? Or what games
Oh, gosh,
they're running?
Oh gosh, I mean, I don't know if he plays anything other than 5e, but I think that would be a really fun table to run something like Quest or Apocalypse Keys that requires a lot of narrative choices over mechanical choices.
Nice.
Sarah, you knocked out my punishment question.
Well, then we've got another question to ask you instead.
I don't know how that was a punishment. Like, that's like one of my favorite things to think of. Is like, what's a cool table to put together of celebrities that you don't
People
normally
fall-
see playing?
People fall apart at that question. They're like, what? 5? I can't. How do I? You're just like, oh, boom, 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 boom. And they're all stars. Like,
Hell yeah. That's a good table, though.
oh, I would watch the shit out of that table.
So this is usually the easier of the two questions. So Noir usually asks it first if the person tells them that they don't crunch the die.
Okay.
Now you are God Emperor of the TTRPG space. Anything that
Okay.
you say, any 3 decrees that you have in the next 24 hours come to fruition. What are you doing with your unlimited cosmic power?
Anyone who puts safety tools in their session 0 but does not use them for the rest of the campaign gets smited. Let's see. I would say I don't know how I want to say this, but I would say that there's some sort of fund that gets created for scholarships, specifically to get tables of marginalized players more visibility, whether that is purchasing them like airtime on like with like promotional posting on social media, or just making sure that they have all of the tools that they need to successfully run an actual play,
Like
making
a
sure
BIPOC creator fund for
Yeah.
TTRPGs APs.
yeah and just lowering that barrier to entry for so many people, and then I think, gosh, what would my third one be? I would say that every live stream AP has to do at least one charity event a year.
Oh,
That's my
Nice.
decree.
oh, I like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I
At least
like
one.
that. Sarah's crushing these questions, Anita. I
Just knocking them out of the park
This-
every time.
did
I don't
not
know that
come to
we've
fuck
Like,
around.
I don't know that we've ever had a guest this prepared since Nikki.
Nick's is Nikki. Yeah. Nikki came here.
I was-
and shit.
I was telling Anita, everybody, I was dressed and camera ready 2 hours,
hours
before
ago.
this because I have anxiety, so I will
Our
always
show-
show up prepared.
Our show is being defeated. We've got to do something.
We gotta.
Sassy Pants, you look like you got an idea for some charity streams, and I know that as a newly minted member of SideQuest, that Critical Miss is more than willing to do something along.
Oh,
those
heck yeah.
We called
By
Nikki
the way,
type ADHD.
what's side quest? I don't know what this is.
Oh,
Tell me.
So oh, go ahead.
So SideQuest is a stream team that Critical Misses is now a part of. It's a group of streamers that focus on charity events and creating an inclusive space in the Twitch and gaming scene. We are there's a few AP channels, including Critical Misses, that are on Team SideQuest, as well as a bunch of variety streamers as well. And they've got several different promotions that they do throughout the year with different charitable causes. I believe in October, I think, is it Gamers Outreach this month? Sassy Pants? I'm not sure. Someone needs to correct me if I'm wrong. I need to actually go into the Discord and double check. But
That's super cool.
but yeah.
Yeah, the long and short of it is that SideQuest is a fantastic stream team on Twitch that makes it very easy for members of their team to partake in charitable events.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I need to get better at myself. So that's a wonderful answer on your part.
Charity events are a hard thing to pull off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and SideQuest kind of makes it much easier, so there's
Mhm.
no excuse, honestly. So I just gotta
Yeah,
We'll drum something up.
Gamers Outreach is the official campaign for the last 2 weeks of October, and Gamers Outreach is a they empower hospitalized children through video games. They build a world where it's easy, where play is easily prioritized along research and treatment. So they're a for-purpose organization that helps restore a sense of joy and normalcy in the lives of hospitalized children.
Gosh, that is so needed. I love that. I'm gonna write them down and look them up later. I like that charity.
And yeah, they just wrapped up a campaign for Starlight through the end of September through the Starlight Children's Foundation.
I love hearing about new charities. That's great.
The whole time we were talking about this, I was also trying to conjure up a question that might be able to stop you, but I can't think of anything. My brain sounds like a car engine that won't turn on.
Well, you're all good. Sarah, I've got a question for you. What would you? I have. Well, it's a two-part question. So
Okay.
you have been a GM and you have been a player. What would you consider your signature move as a GM and as a player?
You stole a Dark Rose question.
I did.
As a player, it is it's the big brain play that the GM doesn't see coming. Seems to be my signature move as a player. In the most unlikely times, I have solved puzzles and made combat moves that GMs have just gone, I'm sorry, what? Several times now. So I think that's my signature as a player, is just the outside of the box thinking. As a GM, I'd like to think it's bringing out the best in my players at the table, and giving them the space to do the majority of the storytelling. I pride myself on talking as little as I have to as a GM. If the players spend the majority of the time doing all the talking and all the role playing, then it's been a successful game. If I have to talk more than the players are talking in a game, I feel like I did something wrong. And I want to make sure that the story that's being told is the player's story, not the novel that I have written in my head. So I think that's my strength as a GM.
As somebody that has had me as a GM, I want to co-sign that and kind of add, like, one of the things that I kind of personally rate GMs on is how quickly something I created becomes real in the world. Like there's sometimes like a lag, like they have to figure out where they're gonna put it in the world, and then it becomes real. You have no lag. Like as soon as like here's an idea I had. Yeah, it's been in the world this whole time. Did you know about it? There's this guy that talks about the thing. Like it happens so naturally that it's just, oh god,
It's just such instant implementation. An instant
I'm
verification of the you take the truths that we give you and you're just like, yes, of course. Just go across the street.
I'm glad. My philosophy as a GM is that my world and my story that I'm trying to tell doesn't really matter. The story of the players and what they want to see in the world is the most important thing. So anything that a player hands to me, of course that's going to be immediately in the world. You want there to be an ice cream seller on the corner? Yes, Ethel has been there for 30 years. She is your favorite ice cream seller, and she always has your favorite ice cream in stock. It's like magic. Probably because she's Fae. But I am more than happy to just yes and the wild ideas that folks hand to me.
That is so good. Like you're so good at it.
Thank you.
GMs don't run, we facilitate. Oh,
So true.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Everybody's coming with bangers today. I've got a new question that I'm gonna try out. You're my test subject for this one.
Ooh.
Which is which two people in the TTRPG space would you love to see at a table, whether you're at that table or not. Like, who would you who do you look at and go, you know, this person with that person would be really interesting.
Well, I already got you and Simon together, so now I have to think of something else. Honestly, I have two. I'm gonna rely on my friends for this one, because I always pull when I'm putting tables together. I always pull from people that I know and trust to be at a table together. I really want to see my friends Abby, enough of Abby on Twitter, and my friend Robin, who is the co-host of To Have and To Roll. They are some of the smartest and most chaotic players that I have ever played with separately, and I desperately want to see the two of them at a table together.
Hell yeah.
I've got an answer to, but it's 3 people. But Anita, do you have an answer to this question?
I know. Honestly, I'd actually like to see. Actually, no, I have seen you and Sarah play together because I ran for you. I ran capers for you both.
Yeah,
That was so fun.
That was so chaotic. I loved every moment of that.
Anybody want a grenade?
Honestly, I think Sarah and Darby would be a good team.
The puns would be nonstop.
I think Sarah and I want to see Sarah, Darby, and Sam Delev at a table. The pun squad. Oh, and then I will add in Alicia, NNG, Petty Energy. I want to make a pun table.
That's why
The punishment table.
Will be pun believable.
It's pun.
I can see you taking the psychic damage right now in real time.
You don't have to GM it.
No, just the fact that it exists, I would feel the pun energy as it happened, like a fucking quickening in Highlander. Just
We call that punergy. It's like Kenergy.
no!
Listen, it's punderated, these players.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore.
Nikki wants to run it.
Okay. I've harassed you enough. I'll stop punning.
Y'all like puns? We had a Honey Heist game that got wild with back. Oh god. Oh, I forgot my answer. Y'all punched so hard.
You said that it was 3 people.
I don't even. Okay. Lord, I lost it.
While you're
I
thinking
lost
about it, Nikki mentioned that Darby and Lou Wilson at a table together.
Oh, I would kill a man to play with Lou Wilson myself.
I know. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say you and Lou Wilson, even though I know that it would just be you sobbing.
I said to get a picture. You can't disappoint a picture.
It's the Troy Barnes and
Okay. All right. Here's my table. Or here's the folks that I want to see at a table together. I want to see you, Sarah, Momo, and I had a third person. I can't remember them any longer because my brain took damage. I'm just gonna say you and Momo for now.
Okay.
Momo
Because
O'Brien.
I feel like this, huh?
Momo
Yeah,
O'Brien.
Momo, right. I feel like there's like fun, creative cosplay energy there, and I would love to see what kind of characters y'all make. I took so much psychic damage.
There was a third person, but you don't remember who they were.
I can't. Lou is younger than us? God damn it. All right. Last question. And this is for the big money. what do you have on your TTRPG bucket list? What are some things in a game that you have not had the opportunity to do that you desperately want to do?
Now who's stealing questions from the Dark Roast?
Let's see. I just
That's
got
not
to
a
kiss.
that's not a Dark Rose question. Sorry, go ahead.
Let's see. I recently got to kiss a bad guy in a game, so
Nice,
that's
nice.
that's a check mark. Let's see. I flipped a bad person's alignment before to good, so I did that. I think I would really like to. I'd like to have a character that dies in a meaningful way at the end of the campaign. All of the campaigns I play with, like everyone is so like if I go down, like I'm like it's fine, I'm down. Like that was a cool way to go. I'm out. But everyone else at the table is like, no, we have to resurrect you, and I'm just like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah, so I would like to be allowed the opportunity to have a character have a meaningful death in a campaign or in a one shot.
Like holding off a horde of enemies while the rest of the party
Yeah,
gets a
or
chance
just-
to escape, or
Yeah. Or
Uh,
like you have that thing where like one person has to stay behind
to
to hold down the button
hold down the button.
and everyone else has to run. Something like that. Just something
I,
where
I have to make sure that the explosion goes off. It has to be me.
yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah,
would
the,
have got
the
it
wires
wrong.
aren't connecting. Someone has to physically hold them. Yeah. Let me be the character that just doesn't make it. That's okay. Not every satisfying ending is a happy ending.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Heroic sacrifice.
Yeah, I had that crossed off my bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I had to uncross it. I got bullied by the audience and my play.
Oh no.
Stucky! Stucky
He died a good
lives.
death. Died a good death. No, those are good, but
Mhm.
you kissed the
X-wings have
bad guy.
hyperdrives.
Yeah, I did.
Did you know they were a bad guy at the time?
So okay, so this actually happened in the last episode of our Pathfinder game. We are currently in a town and we've been told by the people there that this guy is like bad news. But over the course I'm playing a spy. So I'm currently towing that line of giving like just enough truth that this person trusts me. And the first time we met him, like my character quote unquote wanders into his camp with a head wound, and is like essentially like portraying like a lost woman in the woods, and she's playing this very sweet persona named Kyra, and this guy basically like locks her in a room and interrogates her. And then the party comes in way too early. I'm still mad at you all if you're watching. Doesn't give her enough time to work because it was that whole scene like from, I think it was like, what was it, Endgame or what, where like Black Widow is like getting interrogated, but she answers the phone. She's like, this guy's giving me everything.
That's
It was
what
that
Avengers
kind of
is.
scenario.
Nothing.
Yeah, Avengers. Okay. It was that kind of scenario. So like we convinced him like I was not with them. And the next day, because I still needed information on this guy, because we didn't get what we needed, we convinced the shop owner to leave. So currently my character is portraying just like the temporary shop owner while the other, like the actual owner is like off on quote unquote vacation. And he came into the shop and asked her on a date. And at the end of the date, he kissed her. And some conversation came up during the course of the date where my character's like, is this person actually a bad person, or are they just having to do something bad in order to survive? So the whole table is looking forward to learning more about him and seeing what I dig up by portraying this persona. So
you're fully separated from the party.
Yeah, our whole party split. I know. I can hear everyone just like their heart stop. Okay, so this is the thing. Obviously, I have a table that I trust in doing this.
Yeah.
And I have a GM that I trust in doing this as well. She's been running Nexus Adventures for nearly 4 years now. Alyssa Vampart on Twitter. Absolutely amazing. Love you. And we trust her to, obviously we're not going to split the party in a dungeon. That's something you just don't do. But we're all interested in telling a story together as a table. And that means you don't all necessarily stay together. Everyone has their own goals, and sometimes we need team members to go off and do things on their own that the other party members could either screw up too badly, or the other party members, like, it just doesn't make sense for them to be there. So currently I was the distraction. I was on this date with the guy. Another player was also gathering information from other parts of this rest stop that we're at, from different NPCs. Another character currently went off with the shop owner to make sure her and her son are safe as they travel, because we wanted to make sure that they were okay. And the fourth player is actually broke into the base camp of this guy to steal back her loot, which is the whole reason why we were there in the first place, is because her musical instrument was stolen from her and she wanted it back. So
This is incredible.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really hard to pull off as a GM, and I absolutely commend Alyssa for pulling this off the way she has, to the point where, like, I maybe only talked for like 15 minutes of the last episode, but it was so good. Like, I messaged her like towards the end and I was like, please don't come back and check in on Lucy. I want to see what happens next in this scene. Keep going. Because two of the characters had met up. And it was RJ and our friend Jen, and they were having an argument over Jen's character's behavior and failure to give information in a timely manner. And it was one of those like party conflicts that like you just need to have happen, and you need to give it the space to breathe. So that was a good portion of the end of the episode, and I was like, don't come back to me. I'm good. I want to see what happens next with these two, more than I want to just be checked in on.
Listen, just everybody go show Alyssa Vampart some love, because that is not easy for a GM to do.
It's not. They are so good at GMing. Sitting at their table is so much fun, and they're giving us like just the little breadcrumbs at the spot that we're at now.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Satan's the best. Yeah. Satan is their nickname.
Oh, okay. That's the Satan y'all were talking about.
Yeah, that's my buddy Satan.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they are phenomenal as a GM, and I am so honored to be having them run a show.
What level are y'all at?
So Nexus Adventure started out as a 5e campaign.
Mhm.
And we decided during the whole OGL thing that we wanted to move away from that, because my show was coming up that was going to highlight third-party published content and not use WotC content. And we wanted there to be just less of a 5e presence on my channel, because the folks who play in that game, they started my channel with me. Like, this is the game that founded the channel, and they're all my like community leaders at this point. And so we wanted to break away from it, and we were all wanting to play Pathfinder. So we looked at a lot of systems, honestly, and we considered things like Quest, that would be very narrative focused, but we all really like the crunch when we do get into combat, even though we don't get into it often. So we ended up going with Pathfinder, and the way that we handled it is an event happened at the end of the D&D portion that essentially broke magic and broke the connection to the gods of the world. So we wake up, we've essentially been shoved 8 years into the future. We wake up lost in the forest. Our magic is gone. We're back at level 1. We don't know where we are. We don't know what year it even is. So it's been a lot of fun to just rediscover a world that we've been playing in for years and not know what's happening next or where we can even go or where is our safe space. Like, we have been cut off. I used to be a warlock. So our home base is on a totally different continent with my patron. And so I have no connection to my patron anymore. So my character's like dealing with the loss of that connection and the worry that my patron may be dead. We're cut off from all of our family. Well, not all of our family. All of our family, essentially. Because we can't go north on the continent we are to Anthony's family. Because it's currently under occupation and there's someone there impersonating him. And we have a sea to cross and the whole world is currently in a state of war. So we have to cross an ocean while there are warships on it safely to get to where our home base was and where many of our loved ones are. So it's been so much fun to step back into the world.
This sounds kick ass.
It is so much fun. For anyone who wants to check it out, if you don't have time to watch APs, I totally understand, but you can check out the podcast version of it. All the shows on my channel have podcast versions, and you can find them on my website, hypecaliber.com. But it has been a killer campaign so far. It's very emotional.
Okay, so that was just going back to the bucket list item of you kissing a bad guy. You changed someone's alignment. Was this the same game?
No, this is a different game. This was my very first D&D game. I was coming into a campaign at level, I want to say they were level 4 or 5, so they had been in the world for a little while. And someone who had been an antagonist for the party showed up in the very first session when my character was introduced, and we essentially saved him. And the rest of the party was just very cautious and wary about it, but my character has no history with this person. So she just sits down and starts sketching his portrait in her little sketchbook as they sit and talk. And she was a wizard, but her hobby was art. She had a little sketchbook of her travels. And he turned out to be an archfey, and he took interest in her initially because she was sitting there and just sketching his portrait. And the Fae tend to be very focused on images and images of themselves, especially. So that piqued his interest. And he kept popping up originally in a slightly less antagonistic manner. But there was one point where he had given us this way to summon him back should we be in trouble, like he owed us a life debt. Right. And there was one point where my character nearly went down in battle, and someone else in the party summoned him back and said, because I already had this friendship with him, Tana could die, we need your help. And so he shows up and essentially just like obliterates the opponent that we're fighting in one round. And we were just like, okay, that's kind of hot. But then his life debt was paid. And so he started doing the Archfey thing of, I'm going to claim this as my territory on the material plane. And my character, who was a 3-foot tall deep gnome, walked up to him and stood up to him, and he was in his full, like at his full height of like 7 feet tall as this like full on archfey, and just said, well, I can't take anyone home to meet my parents who's gonna act like such a jerk, so please don't. And you just watch like the wheels start to turn in my GM's head. So then it started this whole game long romance.
Wow.
Where he got really curious about life on the material plane and what it was like, because my character was the only person in his life who never asked him for anything. She just wanted to be his friend. She never asked him for help. She never asked him for favors. She never asked him to solve any of her problems, although sometimes he did just show up with a solution out of like just wanting to eventually help her. And he learned, we had a whole half a session where he learned how to cook for the first time. It was a lot of fun. Our party has essentially like taught a grown adult how to be a person. and he met her family. And he essentially like claimed her entire tribe of deep gnomes as like extensions of his family. And towards the end of the campaign, when we were in Endgame, the whole party helped her propose. She ends up purchasing a bookstore, because we were at that point where adventurers have more gold than they know what to do with.
Yeah.
So she purchased him a bookstore with an apartment above it, and that ended up because in the second meeting that they ever had, she asked him what he would want to do if he wasn't an archfey of spring, and he said he'd sell books because fae like information. So she bought him a bookstore, and we had like a whole session where everyone was just like coming up with ideas of like what to buy and what to furnish the apartment with, and like then of course he says yes, because I'm a little cutie pie. And then Endgame, we threw a wedding in game, and the whole table bought into planning her wedding, and facilitating the wedding. I think the GM and I actually wrote the characters' vows to each other.
How does it feel to live my dream?
Yeah, everyone was sobbing at the table. It was a really great time. And now in my 5e campaign, my players are meeting their children. So they have twin boys, a little girl, and then some Feywild children that his name's Bram, that Bram had just like essentially like created out of nothing prior to meeting Tana. So like she has one kid who's a Leshy, another one's a little pixie. I think the other one is essentially like they're all just creatures that he created. They're all just creatures that her life partner created because he's a Fae of Spring, and that's the time for creation, and he's always been interested in creating. So that just ended up coming full circle with him creating mortal children with her eventually.
I just want you to know that you've decimated our audience. I love this so much. How do you say no to that face?
It is.
I'm too soft for this.
I can show you a portrait of them together. Hang on.
No. Why don't I get to have experience like this?
Because I play raccoon people with trash cans.
This is from, she had to write a contract where her home is. It was in the control of someone who we had recently realized was a different archfey that was rather antagonistic to Bram. And so she wanted to take him home to meet her family, and she had to write a Fey contract that would allow him and her party to safely return to where her family was, without there being any repercussions for him or the party. So there was a whole her name's Tana. That's my GM. Hi, Jen. There was a whole like chunk of the story where he was sitting and critiquing her as she wrote this contract, and I actually wrote a legal contract and gave it to my GM.
Can you hold up the picture again? Nikki just missed it.
I got you, Nikki. Hang on.
It's so cute.
Yeah, but that's them, and she's actually writing the contract as they work on it.
And he's like pointing out little things.
Toshi Sigma is the GM. That just from hearing about this and the lens you went through to help your player tell this story, you are an amazing GM, and I am jealous that I did not get to sit at your table. That's amazing.
I learned a lot about legals in that game, and I loved it. Yeah, but I wrote her a full legal contract in character, and I had to research how to do that. Shout out to all you lawyers out there. I don't ever want to do that again. And I think she has it like posted on her wall or something.
Oh,
but
man.
Yeah,
that is so.
Mm-hmm.
That is the sweetest, absolute sweetest.
Yeah.
Oh my god. a crying out of joy. I do have it.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that is so fucking adorable.
Yeah. And ever since then, I love picking romance partners with Jen because she writes really good romance partners. That was the first time I romanced her. I've romanced her twice now.
Hell yeah.
I have, in my long career of playing TTRPGs, I have yet to be romanced.
I romanced you,
When?
Gunther and Opie.
You know why that one doesn't count.
I do know why that one doesn't
I don't
count.
consider that. I don't consider
consider that one
a real
canon?
game. that game. That is the game that did not happen.
I give it a no. All right.
Oh,
I'll make another character. And I'll romance you. I'll give you a romance.
Oh, AJ, here we go.
Can't romance Noir because every single time AJ's trying to. Indoor says that it'll smooch the shit out of you.
Hell yeah!
There
Yeah,
we
I mean,
go.
we got many more
And romance you.
apocalypse keys to get through. So, yeah.
I'm trying to smash our leg.
Listen, every single time AJ tries to have a romance with me, because in the game that we mentioned before, Yenna is paired up with AJ's character Eugene, and every single time they are this close to actually having something meaningful happen,
Blame me.
Noir makes
For
something
making
happen that
decisions.
makes us fall apart. It's a will they, won't they, because the GM keeps interfering in our
Honestly-
match sessions.
Okay. You know what? I think that's great though, because
It's
there's
building
not like
romantic tension.
I think I love. Yeah. And it's fun to play out the evolution. I think a lot of people jump too fast when they're doing like romances and campaigns. I think there's a lot of people that jump too fast into the
Thank you.
now we're together. Let it simmer. Because Tana and Bram, like even though he lived with us, we were probably level 17 before she proposed. Like
Thank
let
you.
it simmer. You're doing good, Nora. You're doing good.
I appreciate.
But
in
if
all
you ever want to be
fairness-
romanced in a game, let me know and I'll find you a game to be romanced in.
See, I need that. I truly do.
Mhm.
But
I think Joe
it-
needs that.
Joe, that's the worst character in a romance.
Is it though?
Yeah, Joe is like. I imagine Joe's romance life to be like. I was gonna say a rapper, but look,
It's just hard mode.
Simon says worst or just hard mode?
he's just the worst. He's the worst. He is the worst. He's the guy that wakes up and truly earnestly goes, "What are you still doing here?" He's a terrible
Oh,
person.
you're still here?
I'm gonna give you someone so sweet. They're gonna make you pancakes in the morning.
Hell yeah.
Did you use my favorite pan that I only use for crepes for pancakes? Get out!
No, I brought my own.
Oh shit. How dare you judo chop me in the heart? Oh, I fell apart that easy. I'm not nearly as tough as I thought I was.
So you
We-
knew you were
we
gonna
met-
stay over, hussy?
There it is. Thank you for bringing up my inner joke.
What are you talking about? I know how cute I am.
Damn, gotta respect the cockiness. All right, well, I hope you have Uber money because I'm not paying for your Uber.
I think like the
Oh,
ultimate
it's gonna be
power
fun.
move would be like, I made you crepes. Okay, good, now get out. And I think the power move after that would be sending a Venmo request for the price of the crepes. Just be like, fine, if you're gonna treat me like a jerk, I'm gonna treat you like a jerk right back. Here, pay me for these crepes that I made you.
I think the ultimate power move would be stealing one of his cars because it'd probably take him a while to notice. We've been at this for an hour and 45. So what do we say about taking a quick 5-10 minute break to go be human and to refill my juice and coffee, and then we'll be back with the dark roast. How do y'all feel about that?
Sounds good to me.
The what?
The
The dark roast. It's where we start asking serious dark questions. Nah, honestly, it's just more of the same. We just give it a cool name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll be back in 10
All right,
minutes,
we'll
everybody.
see y'all in just a bit.
And also, everybody, check out this this fun video that AJ started for us at Big Bad Con. We'll see you soon.
All right, so guest check-in. What we always make sure, are you having fun?
What's up? I'm AJ from Critical Misses, and we're here at Big Bad Con asking people a very, very important question. Let's go. We got to go. Do you eat dice? I mean, I've thought about it, but no, I don't eat dice. Good. Do you eat dice?
In private or in public?
We're private.
I'll never tell. No, I do not eat dice. I'm not. I don't know.
Good. It's good.
Is that good?
Yes.
Darby's giving me a synopsis. I'm scared.
Do you eat dice?
So many.
Are you the cops? Maybe.
Yeah. Don't you?
Okay, I'll be here.
Where are you getting your luck from?
Get them out of here.
You're
Get
deficient.
them out of here. Get them out of here.
They can't shut me up! They can't tell the truth! They can't tell the
Get
truth!
it? Stop the camera. Do you eat dice?
Yes. I'm lactose intolerant.
What?
Every day of the week.
No, I give dice to my players to eat because they need it as part of a nutritious breakfast.
It depends on the texture. If it's like a jellyish looking dice, then yes, I would absolutely like to eat it because it just looks really edible.
Sometimes they go in my mouth for the clacky clack.
Only if they're not spicy. I can't do heat.
Valid. It's valid.
No, I can't. I work on my
No, but those that do, that's their own death that they have chosen.
Oh, God.
While I was at Big Bad Con, I decided to go around and find the guests of Morning Ritual and people who appeared on Critical Misses to tell me about their favorite moments. Here's what they said.
Hi, I'm Sarah, or Sarah's Coffee. I had a great time when I did Morning Ritual on Critical Misses. My favorite part is just Nora and Anita are so great as hosts, and it's just wonderful talking to them and being able to share our perspectives in one big, beautiful Morning Ritual soup.
I was going to do a thing about, I'm pretty sure when I was on with Nora and Anita, there was something that was about me saying the N-word or something once upon a time. I can't remember the vibe. So instead, I'm going to talk about my two favorite co-hosts of this thing. Nora and Anita, they have a really great vibe together, and I felt like there was some silly, goofy thing that happened between the three of us, but it really felt like the two of them were playing off of each other, and it felt like fun banter, not excluded, and also like very much included in what was happening. And also when me and Nora were like, yeah, it's a black thing, or we're like, oh yeah, you know, just the black folks. Anita was great with the joking in on it as well, in a very fun and safe manner. So yeah, favorite parts.
Hello, it's me, Kateosaurus. I would say that one of my favorite things that happened was the live show of Morning Ritual that happened, which was the earliest I've ever woken up at a convention ever to do anything. And it was amazing. It was one of the most fun conversations we had, and it was one of those glorious moments where three brains that are like kind of the same, like kind of meshed, and it was just this really like free-flowing, really easy, really comfortable conversation. And then the whole time the audience was like, this is the best thing we've ever seen, and I was like, we're talking about like toast. I don't know what's going on. But that was like meaningful to me. It was a meaningful conversation because it felt welcoming and joyous and celebratory, and it was so fucking goofy.
I think my favorite moment of Morning Ritual was like getting to argue with Noir about the importance of dice crunching, and then me revealing that I was a secret third thing, which is profiting off of it either way, and by plugging my dice code was one of the funniest things I got to do. And like getting to play off of Noir like comedically is deeply funny because like they are one of just truly my favorite scene partners, or to someone to just goof off and like play argue with back and forth. Truly one of my favorite moments I ever got to do. Being on the show felt so fun. Like I think it was my first talk show, so it felt just so fucking fun.
My favorite moment of Critical Misses is watching my dear friend Noir break down every time someone decides to crunch a dice on stage. Stay strong, friend. There'll be more of us.
I think that my favorite part of Critical Misses was when I had some time over on their Star Trek stream, and it was when a bunch of us in the party managed to figure out how to effectively do like a time slingshot and launch to intercept the big bad. That was a lot of big brain energy, and I love that everyone had a piece to play in that problem solving so that we could get to that finale and win.
What's up? It's your boy. My favorite Morning Ritual thing. Oh my gosh, there's so many. How do I choose? I don't know. I think it's when I got to expose Noir for the chicken-eating traitor that they are. When I made chicken for them, when I was like, they're visiting my house when I lived at my old house, and I made a lot of chicken. And I made so much chicken that they thought it was really good, and I only got 4 pieces of that chicken, and Noir and my friend ate the rest of the chicken. I'm never gonna let you forget that, no matter what, but I like that I got to expose you for the terrible fiend that you are.
There's so many moments in Critical Misses that I just genuinely loved. Like all the bits and everything, it was just fun to follow along and watch this narrative of Morning Ritual unfold, and all of that came into all that culminated in the video that AJ put together of everyone talking about if they're stop the crunch or crunch responsibly. That story, that through line, really connected everyone who came onto the show, and added just this little fun game, which I love.
So obviously we're here to talk about Critical Misses. I think my favorite memory is being able to show up Noir. Not by doing anything in particular. Noir is my arch enemy, my arch nemesis, as everyone knows. I'm clearly the hero of our relationship. Noir's the villain. But just being purely on the show, my presence just overshadowed him, really. I love they're cool, they're great, whatever. The other guests are cool and everything, but like when it was me and Noir on that show, it was very clear who the good guy was. And being able to highlight that, to be able to show that off, was probably my favorite moment. I think that's why Noir's actually scared to have me on again. They're worried that I'll be able to again reveal the real villain that they are. But no, really, it was a lot of fun being on Critical Misses. If at any point on Morning Ritual they want me back again, I'll be there in a heartbeat. And I think anyone else who gets a chance to should as well. Anita and Noir are incredible hosts, and I'm always there when I can be to listen to them talk to their guests.
I think my favorite moment of Morning Ritual, I wasn't even there for, but you all brought me up on a panel at a convention that I could not go to. I think it was Gen Con. And I don't think anything in this world has ever made me feel part of a creative family quite as much as witnessing myself being mentioned in a room that I was not in. We all hope that that happens, but rarely do you get to witness it happen. And that was surreal to me and remains surreal to me to this day. I would live and die for everyone who is in that room on that panel, and everyone who is behind Critical Misses. You can have everything you want from me. At any time, you just call on me. I'm there.
What's up? It's me, one of the co-hosts for Uncancelled, the new show where you can say whatever you want. But then the group that you offended gets to jump you for I don't remember how long you said. But you don't understand how often I think about this and how much I want this for the space. Because I think all these white motherfuckers need to get on this show. Thank you for having me.
Hello, I'm gonna say B Zelda here because I can't help but introduce myself. I think my absolute favorite moment of Morning Rituals and with everybody from Critical Misses is just the kindness, the love, and the respect from Noir and Anita because they're the best people and I love and I care about them so much.
What's up? I'm AJ from Critical Misses, and we're here at Big Bad Con asking people a very, very
And we're back. Hello.
Hey, we made it back.
We did it.
Dark Roast, baby. I hope y'all can hear me. My sound was acting weird during the break. All right, Sarah.
That's me.
You're in the Dark Roast now. There's no one that can say.
It's fine.
So threatening.
Why are you threatening me?
I don't know. People were saying nice things, and my immediate reaction is fight or flight.
It's kind of like it's kind of like
that bad.
It's kind of like when like there's that kid on the playground that like that punches you because they don't have the big feelings and they don't quite know how to handle like people being like kind.
And fuck that kid.
Okay, I see how it is now.
Don't teach your children that means that people like them because they'll accept that treatment.
Sometimes you need to learn how to deal with those big emotions in a way that isn't physical. You need to learn how to talk through those emotions. But sometimes it comes out as aggression. It's cute aggression. Kind of.
Are you ready for the first segment of the Dark Roast?
I guess.
Yeah, there's no going back. I can't stop. I'm so sorry.
Keep up. We're making it a bit now.
Okay.
The first thing that we have here is what we like to call our TTRPG confessionals. This is where if you feel you have a habit at the table that is less than stellar, this is where you can come to confess. We'll give you a penance. you go, sin no more, and you are absolved of your sin. I will model the behavior.
Mhm.
Well, actually, Anita will model the behavior
Okay.
that we would like to see from you. I would do it, except my cat is quite literally hunting me. So, Anita, please, if you could.
Yes, I have.
Shit, where did he go?
I have a person that likes to play TTRPGs with me, and would like to romance me, but I continually play an absolute trash monster, garbage fire of a character, and they don't like it. They want to romance me, but I'm not giving them ample opportunity. That's my sin.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you penance. I don't have anything. Your penance is to make your very strange character just have a heart to heart with this person's. Oh, you're talking about me, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
I'm just sitting here as the GM for y'all's game, taking notes. Go on. What would you like next session?
I feel like I should recuse myself.
Oh no, our internet's being
okay.
a little.
I'm waiting.
Come on now. Level off, man. Okay, we're good.
Wait, are we frozen?
Our internet was doing
Okay.
a little boop.
I think my cat learned to control the internet. Your character has to have a heart to heart with this individual that you're interested in to see if there's any kind of reciprocation, and also talk to the player and see about establishing a plot line where you're romantically involved with each other. Blah, 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 blah.
I would like to tack on to that just a quick lines and veils check-in with the whole table, should there be a romance about what everyone's comfortable representing in game. But as your GM, I approve this message.
Okay.
You're doing this in front of our GM? Are you insane? What have you done?
I mean, I need to go
All
to
right.
therapy for it. Yes. I could probably be sanity medicated.
Don't we all?
Come here, my love.
So that is TTRPG Confessionals.
Okay.
That's how it's done. Would you like to go next,
Intro
or would you
AJ
like me to do a
To make
confession?
Noir jealous. That's what AJ gave me as penance.
I mean, I would really
Nah, I'd
like
be
to
good.
go, but I am a joy and a delight and absolutely perfect at tables. I don't have anything for this segment. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I do.
I was gonna say I don't have one for myself, so I'm gonna take on a character.
Okay.
I'm gonna take on someone that I know, and I'm gonna do a confession for them.
Okay, I will do mine, and then we'll see what you have.
Okay.
I think mine is I put together the dots too quickly, and I don't wait for other players to have an opportunity to figure things out sometimes. I'm too smart. I'm sorry. Pattern recognition is really, really strong in my brain.
I have a.
Okay.
I have one.
I have a penance.
Okay.
All right, Anita, go first.
When you figure it out, write it down so that way you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the right answer. Let other people come to their own conclusions, and then when you meet up together, you can all sort of go over what you figured out.
Roger that.
My penance is going to be a little different, which is I'm going to change the nature of the game for you because you're good at pattern recognition. And so that challenge isn't really as challenging. My penance to you is see if you can lead somebody else to find it before the rest of the party.
Game on.
Drop some of your own hints to other players.
See if they think it, and see if you can do it in a way where they don't realize that you fed it to them, like where they think they solved it. Like that's the game.
It's a good game.
I'm a sick bastard. All right, I'm taking on the character of somebody else. I am a different person, and this is what my confession is.
Who are you today?
My name is Jacob.
Jacob. Okay. What does Jacob look like? Can you paint the audience a picture?
Oh boy, I'm just run of the mill type guy. So I like t-shirts, maybe flannel shirts.
Okay.
I'm just a dude.
Just a dude. Okay.
And sometimes I like to run games, and I feel like I need to confess that player death isn't a plot point. Like maybe that's my confession. I don't want to make player death plot points anymore. Meaning that, to advance my plot, a player has to die without any chance of survival, no rolls to survive, no nothing. I just say a person kills that character and that happens. Like maybe that is my sin and I shouldn't let that happen any longer. I'm watching Anita try and keep it all together right now.
This is feeling a little targeted.
This is I think this is also this is the petty prime time has slipped a little early. Is what this is.
Listen, half of what this show is me working some shit out. Y'all just have to sit here and watch it.
I think we
That's
skip
fine.
segments
I'll
just
send
a
you
little.
my bill as your therapist later.
And he was like, I don't know that I approve of it.
It sounds petty. Thank you, AJ.
What? Me, I've never done a petty thing in my life. What? No, me petty
for you.
I don't know each other. I don't need. I'm the least. What's the opposite of petty? Noir. That's what it is. I'm not.
So here's what you do, Eden. You just reach into the jacket and you do it undo it one thread at a time, so that when he sticks his hand in the jacket, it catches on the lining and rips. Yeah, you've never been petty in your whole life, pal. Absolutely not.
Keep telling
not
yourself.
once.
I don't know what y'all talking about. I didn't do nothing. Okay, maybe I'm a scotch petty. It's getting real tight in this box.
Well, it's one you put yourself in, so I don't know.
Even the audience press F.
If anyone wants to see Noir be absolutely not petty at all,
Never.
A single
Ever.
time, go watch Apocalypse Keys. Not playing the most delightful, sweet cherub of a character.
Yeah, all he wants to do is make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm. Did some charity work last session. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, I actually did do charity work.
After you messed
I
up
just
every
I
single
remember
bagel
the
in the break
context.
room.
No, actually, I did the charity work and then fucked up the bagels. Balance.
You did. Goodness gracious.
So you know what? That brings on a new question. What's the pettiest thing a character of yours has ever done?
Well, so Jennifer, I know you're in chat. I'm still mad. There was towards the end of the game, for my first campaign, where my GM put a door on the side of the road, just standing upright on the side of the road. We investigated it for 45 minutes. It was just a wooden door. So, out of pettiness, my character took out her broom of flying out of her bag of holding, strapped that sucker to her broom, and carried it with her for the next several sessions. And then I forced the GM to give me whatever the fantasy version of FedEx was in the world so that I could ship it home. And it is now in Tana and Bram's bookshop as the door that leads to their apartment. I made it very inconvenient while I was carrying it on my broom of flying. Like, I had to make sure that it could fit through all of the other doors that I had to go through. Is this archway tall enough for my broom and I, with the door hanging beneath us, to go for? Yeah. It's a great game.
It's part of the world.
I can tell that your GM feels a type of way because there's so much caps in the chat right now.
Yeah.
You drug a door with you out of spite.
It's a lore door. One cannot simply walk into
not have any
the
lore.
door.
Oh, gosh. But yes, that's probably one of the pettiest things I've done.
Anita, do you have any pettiness you would like to share?
I actually do. I came up with it when I had brunch with Wassa the other day. Are we doing or no? We haven't actually skipped in petty primetime. This is something petty that I've done in game. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just seeing. I got tagged on Discord. So the petty thing that I've done in game. I have purposefully derailed the GM's plot because I knew that it was fuckery. So I was like, I'm just gonna disengage from this entire circumstance because I know exactly what's going on here.
Could you elaborate what you mean by fuckery?
Okay, so like I'm trying to think of the exact circumstance. There's a couple times that I've done this. Usually it was with the same GM. Like I knew that the GM was steering us in a very specific direction because like there was a scene that they had in mind, and I'm like, I felt the rails in the game. And I decided that fuck it, I'm going to break the rails. I'm
sensing some camaraderie between you and Sarah right now.
I felt like the very I felt the very specific direction that the GM wanted us to go, and like this GM had done it several times. It was there was a very specific story that he wanted to tell. Sorry, that might be giving away a little. Noir, you know the game that I'm talking about.
Do I? I need y'all to understand that I am AP level stupid.
It's the game that we met in.
Oh, Company of Grey Wolves with Joshua Barba.
I wasn't gonna say shit, but you did it.
I don't give
a shit.
I don't give a fuck. His name is Mike.
So like I felt there were some points in the game where I was like, I can feel the rails in this railroad that we are being pushed along, and I'm like I know exactly the kind of reaction that he wants out of this scene because I'd been playing long enough in it, and I'm like, I know what they're expecting, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to play into this. I'm summoning a magic steed, and I'm taking this character, and we're running away from this entire situation.
Okay.
Good for you.
I mean, I feel like that's more righteous than petty, but I often blur the lines between, so I don't know.
It's that strong sense of justice. You really are just a paladin.
I'm a bard paladin, thank you very much.
That's why you're dramatic about it. So you're dramatic about it too.
or balladed, as I like to call them.
Ugh.
Oh, you motherfuckers make puns.
That one's a reach. That's a reach.
I do what?
I mean, you did do one. It wasn't very good.
AJ, what you like to call it? I coined it.
Oh, so now we're stealing material from other creators. Oh,
Gold.
Oh. Wow.
Hey, I am a TTRP from Twitter, so you know it's only a matter of time. Each and every one of these motherfuckers got a skeleton in their closet, so shit.
Woof.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, as AJ coined the term balladed. No, me and AJ gonna fight. All right.
Or smooch.
So now, yeah, we gonna fight. You don't smooch while you fight? Well, how are you doing combat?
That's that goes on the bucket list.
If there's not romantic tension as we cross swords in the middle of a battlefield, I don't want it.
Listen, I honestly do have on my TTRPG bucket list. I don't care. I'm going to steal this scene exactly as it was in the movie of a marriage in the midst of combat, like in Pirates of the Caribbean. Because that was the fucking dopest. My cat is quite literally hunting me. That is like the best scene.
The GM takes notes.
A smooch fight is a noble fight. You said you wanted that for your wedding. Well, I mean, why not both?
All my characters are chased as the driven snow.
Lie.
Well,
lie.
All my characters are sweet, sweet, sweet virgins. No, I'm just kidding. No,
don't you
I'm
have
just kidding.
don't you have a champion that's like a champion of the goddess of sex work?
Yeah.
That's the whole
She's the goddess of unions and sex work. Best goddess on the planet.
I love that. That's amazing.
That's one from PJ's homebrew.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. One of my favorite characters was a burlesque dancer and sex worker. She was a cleric to the Raven Queen.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now for the next part of the Dark Roast. We're actually going to jump into Petty Primetime this time.
Okay.
Petty Primetime is where if you want to subtweet IRL, this is where you do it. And I will model the behavior that I expect to see. So, this is Petty Primetime. If you are doing some shady shit and somebody gets called out for doing some shady shit, probably don't go, hey, that motherfucker did some shady shit. Isn't that fucking terrible? We should all rally behind me because I don't do shady shit, because we know you do shady shit too. Come on. That is my Petty Prime time.
I don't trust anyone who labels themselves one of the good ones.
Motherfuckers are so quick to be like, I'm one of the good ones, and here's a list of all the good ones, and you should support. Like, if you gain followers off of tragedy, abuse, or some horrific shit, I honestly don't fuck with you. I cannot. I cannot. People suffering isn't a fucking community building session, okay? It's not a fundraising session. People are going through real shit. Don't fucking be an opportunist at that time. What the fuck is wrong with you people? But yeah, that's Petty Primetime. I had 2 for the price of 1.
I got 2 as well.
Yeah. You got one? You got one there, Anita?
Yeah, I wrote mine
What
down.
the?
I wrote mine
Sorry,
down
that was my
during,
lightsaber turning off.
Wait, what?
Wait, are we doing this?
Are we?
Are we doing this?
I mean, nobody told me it was go time.
Come on. Turn on.
Hi, buddy.
There we go.
I have to turn my chroma key off. There we go. Oh, so we see what colors everybody is. You're blue. Oh, it's two blues versus a green.
It's a lavender actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to change the color. I just got it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and you got a white hilt.
Yeah, I got to this is from Saber Customs. I'm gonna have a post on it soon. But it reminded me of stormtroopers. And I was just like, that's such a cool concept for a saber. I also have a green one.
Hell yeah. If you got a like congrats on your lightsaber, especially if it's your first one. This is my guy right here. I did a Star Wars one shot and immediately was like, well, I love this character now, so I need to buy their lightsaber.
And this one.
I want to do a Star Wars OC so bad.
Well, we might have to have a conversation. we might need to
a saber made from clone armor parts. Ooh, fancy.
Right? Like, what if there was a clone that becomes a Jedi?
Oh, the ideas.
I know, right?
Or a Jedi.
Anyway, sorry, I derailed everything.
You're good.
Listen, I always tell people when we had Sam DeLev on, we talked for 2 hours about how Professor Xavier's mansion has no ramps.
Yeah.
So we could talk about anything for any amount of time.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god,
But
that lightsaber is so fucking sick though. I'm sorry.
It's a good looking saber for sure.
Thanks.
Okay. All right.
Back
We've
to
done
it.
Petty Prime Time.
We haven't finished Petty Primetime.
Oh yeah, you still have to do your Petty
I
Prime
have to do
Time.
mine, and Sarah hasn't done theirs yet.
Sarah did.
No, I didn't.
Oh no, my brain sucks.
We got distracted by the lightsabers. That was the
Oh,
ADHD
lightsabers.
moment.
Oh
Yeah. Shiny.
yes, AJ, you can be a part of the Star Wars thing.
What is your Petty Primetime, Sarah?
Mine? Okay, I have two. So the
Ooh.
first is that the horror mechanics don't matter. You can tell a horror story in any system. You're just not a very good horror storyteller.
I'm making a rain on that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's one of the things that ticks me off the most is like when people talk about like Ravenloft comes up a lot. Like, oh, it's not a good horror setting. You just don't know how to tell a horror story. Sorry, I hate to tell you that, but
Jeez.
Damn.
I never really paid attention to that, but you're right. Like, there's a bunch of people that complain about there are folks that don't like to use the sanity mechanics in Call of Cthulhu, and they just remove it or they turn it into something else.
Yeah.
And then there are a bunch of dude bros that are just like, you guys are too soft. I'm like, no, it's just mental health is fucking serious. What the hell is
yeah,
wrong
there's
with
other
y'all?
ways. The mechanics don't make it a horror game. Telling a horror story makes it a horror game. I can creep you out just as much in 5e as I can in Vampire the Masquerade, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the game mechanics. It has to do with the setting, the atmosphere, what I reveal to you when, and how far the horror is outside of your peripheral vision at any given time. Because I guarantee you the scariest thing to ever do to someone is to not show the monster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the I've played with some folks that we're basically describing, and that's the thing that they're not really good at is atmosphere. Atmosphere counts for so much in storytelling. I just want to play with my lightsaber all day.
I'm trying to get mine to shut off and I can't figure out how to turn it off. So it's going to tell us it's shutting down in like 20 minutes.
It's all good.
Yeah, so that's my first one. And
Okay.
it always ticks me off when I see that on like Twitter or something. The second one is when people say, show me your Ko-Fis. I want to spread money around. You're not wanting to spread anything around. You're just wanting to farm for engagement.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I absolutely I take note of who I see putting out those tweets. If I want to spread some, I want to know who so and so creators are in the community. No, you don't. You're just wanting to farm engagement. If you wanted to know that, you would be looking at the links in people's bios, and you would be going and doing it without any accolade for it. If you really wanted to help, you don't need to do it on main.
These are some good ones. These are some good ones. Yeah. I was in my early days of Twitter, I was guilty of that second thing. I didn't realize that was what I was doing. I thought I was helping. And then once I realized like people aren't coming to these threads and actually helping folks, I just stopped doing it.
But the thing is also you're getting nowadays, or at least even back then, you'd get a lot of people that were just throwing in links that were not legitimate accounts either. So you get a lot of bot engagement.
Yeah, same with like the Follow Friday stuff. Like I don't participate in any of that.
Yeah.
Because I used to, but I've never once had someone who was posting that actually go and follow me.
Same.
When they say I want to follow people in whatever,
it clogs my notifications.
It's engagement.
And it clogs my notifications when I get tagged in Follow Friday posts, and I never get any follows out of it.
Yeah. So sorry if you want to tag me in a Follow Friday post. I will never participate in one. I appreciate that you like my work, though.
Now that we're kind of getting into it, there's so much tomfoolery that happens on Twitter. But before I start to fixate on that, was there anything else? And if not, Anita, do you have yours?
Oh, I'm good.
I have mine.
Okay, let's hear it.
Not wanting to pay artists has incel energy.
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is anybody that is saying that engaging artists or commissioning artists is too hard or too expensive and they would rather use AI art has the same energy as a guy wondering why women don't want to fuck him. These artists, they're too expensive. They keep raising their prices. I can't afford it, so I'm just going to use AI art instead. This porn is too expensive. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm just going to go to Pornhub instead.
Ugh. There's this thing called a savings account. I don't know if anyone's heard of it before, but you can open one, and then you can put a little bit of money in there every single week until you can afford the thing that you want to buy, because you are not entitled to everything that the world has to offer. Some of it is a luxury. And artwork is part of that. That's what I always say to people. Yeah, pay your fucking artists.
Pay your artists, support your sex workers.
Hell yeah.
Y'all got fucking nukes today.
Listen, Wasa and I came up with that one while we were at brunch the other day, and
no, I'm not mad at it. I love it. I almost think we should put that shit on a shirt.
Do it.
Oh my god.
Do it. I need more clothes.
Don't be an incel. Pay your artists.
I will wear that with at Pride Gen Con.
Paying for artists sexy.
I know. I think we've got a new line of "Don't be an incel," and then "Don't be an incel." Pay your sex workers. Don't be an incel. Pay your artists.
It's perfect. It's perfect because A, and then incel. So AI, and then you do that in the anti-AI.
I think you should have someone like taking a hammer to like Chat GPT or like.
I've got to. It's hardly a petty prime time, but I'm just gonna say this: a lot of you motherfuckers that are super vocal on Twitter about how bad AI is, Twitter's not the place to be vocal about that. It's the fucking boardroom. It's when you're in fucking meetings. That's when you should be talking all that fucking don't do AI shit. And I've been in meetings with y'all where y'all have been quiet as shit. Y'all have been fucking definitely quiet. That's why I no longer do work or business in the TTRPG space, because some of y'all will be one way on Twitter, but when it fucking counts and when your money is on the line, y'all ain't saying a goddamn thing. I'm sorry,
Right.
we just tripped on something that
Some people lose sight of principles very quickly when opportunities or money is involved. That's my second petty prime time.
Mm-hmm.
It being ethical on Twitter is easy, so it doesn't matter.
AI made Noir go corporate.
You have no idea how right you are.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, well, we gotta work on the Dopia SL line of shirts now. That'll go good with our favorite enemy line of stuff. Oh God, now I'm sad again. All right, no, we'll get back to it. We've already done your signature move in the first half, but we'll change it up a little bit. What is a skill, attribute, or just something in general that you really admire about somebody in the space? Like, if you could emulate or be practiced in whatever this person does as well as them, like, who would you pick and what skill of theirs do you admire?
Oh gosh. I think there's several GMs that I've seen do this, so I can't like name like one person, but I want to be better at making like combat scenarios more interesting. With environment variables or like times changes, like making the like I want to combat is where I really suffer, because I have a writing degree. Like I know the storytelling stuff, like the combat portion of like the crunchier games. That's where I struggle a lot. So I would like to better those skills.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm already really good at hurting people or letting them hurt themselves in games. So
you're really good at letting us hurt ourselves.
Yeah, I don't even have to do it for you two. Like I just say, well, what knife do you want to pick up today?
Ooh, what do you have a spiky one that's on fire?
You've got so many things to be sad about. Here's a little charcuterie of sadness.
Which one would you like to select?
Oh,
we're going with the prosciutto today. All right.
The melon, the ones that are wrapped around melon, delicious.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's calling in your torturer from hell specifically.
That was a good one. That was a great one.
That was a real good one.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
After the first couple thousand years, he stopped taking it personal. Y'all really gotta watch our Apocalypse Keys game. It's so much fun. How about you, Anita? Is there anybody out there with a particular skill or that you admire? You kind of want to call it out?
Ooh, I really like There's something that Noir does as a GM. I really like how he gives.
No, don't
players-
pick me.
I'm picking you because you're first in my mind always. That you're very good at giving players stakes and letting them know what those stakes are and what is important in a scene and what needs to get done. And I very much admire that, and I want to get better at letting my players sort of take the reins and steer the narrative in the way that you do that. In the way that you are able to also incorporate like character stuff into like and make that important and vital to the narrative. I like how you do that. So I want to get better at it. Teach me your ways.
Blah.
I want to be one of Noir's players.
Ooh.
It's very timely that you asked that or say that. Okay. Skills that I admire. I see now I feel bad if I okay. Nita, you're a very good channel runner. I can tell y'all for a fact Morning Ritual would not have made it to 20 episodes, let alone 100 plus, if I had my way, because I like to sleep in Saturday mornings.
Last night we
I
had
don't
the good
like-
beef sleep, so we got up actually kind of early today.
These kind of beefs. I've been looking at it all morning. I'm gonna destroy it as soon as
That
the
looks
show's over.
so good.
It's so good.
Johnny's.
the second person that I'm gonna choose though. Oh boy. I am going to pick my nemesis.
Not
Draconics.
Not Drac?
But Liam O'Brien. And listen, I don't like giving Critical Role roses because everybody already gives them roses. But the man consistently makes sad characters and knows that he makes sad characters. And we make fun of him for making sad characters. And he has doubled down. And what I admire is the stubbornness. So that's who I'm picking.
I have a second one as well.
I have a second one now too because I thought of it while y'all were talking.
Same.
Okay, go ahead with the second.
Mine is gonna be our pal Simon.
Yeah.
Simon is the GM that I learn a lot from because he was my first technically GM and I've been watching him the longest. And I don't watch Critical Role or the other big channels, so most of what I do is based off of him. But he has this way of weaving story threads together that I've watched him play a level 1 to 20 campaign with some folks that's about to wrap in like 8 sessions. And
So
the
jealous.
way that he can weave in a callback to something that happened a year ago is just it's so masterful, and he can it's so effortless when he does it. I would love to hone in on that kind of skill and just be able to track information for that long.
Yeah. The second one that I'm thinking about is going to be RPG Webby Samantha. She does this thing where, because she actually writes for Modiphius and she's one of the head designers for Star Trek Adventures. And I'm in a game with her on Tuesdays. And one of the things that she does is, if there isn't a mechanic, I will build it for you. She built my character is a merchant, and in Star Trek Adventures, the way advancements work is through milestones and also through reputation. And reputation in Starfleet means something completely different for reputation as a merchant character, because reputation, while important for business, there's no actual core mechanics in the game system as built for for advancement through reputation, because it's like, oh, you get to go up a rank, which doesn't mean anything for a merchant, but for in the game, she made a mechanic called capital instead of reputation, where I can use capital to increase my business ventures, to expand my business, to get a new trait, like my character's now a pillar of the community, and like people know my character and they have a good reputation in the space station that they run their business out of. Basically, I made Quark and Jedzia Dax do the fusion dance. But like in a good way.
God.
But in a good way.
My favorite
My character
characters,
is a
too.
droid trill with 8 lifetimes of business acumen.
Oh no! Thank you for the raid, Raiders.
Renna.
I
Hi,
just
Ren.
had a terrible mental image.
So like they started out like a little bit sketchy and like a little bit like they still like don't necessarily do things legally some of the time, but like enough of the station knows them and knows them well enough that they get like a lot of leeway, even though they recently got framed, and I'm never going to forgive Samantha for framing my character for dealing drugs on the station. How dare you? As a plot to get rid of the 2 NPCs that I saved from an Orion drug kingpin. Like, Samantha! Anyways. She's also very good at taking the backstory daggers and stabbing you with them. That's it.
All right, this is kind of. Wait, hold on. Has everybody done their second? Yes, you did. You did, and then I already did. Here's a new question. I'm calling it the moment of acceptance, which is, at what moment did you feel accepted into the TTRPG space? At what moment did you feel like, yeah, I'm gonna stick around here?
Honestly, it was Gen Con for me.
Oh.
I was really struggling in what people are calling the post-pandemic time, but there's still one going on. Because I rose when there was all that support. Everyone was off. Everyone had free time. It was easier to grow when everyone was locked in their homes, you know? And so as things have kind of plateaued and reached more normalcy, I was really struggling figuring out like where my place in all of this TTRPG stuff is and where I wanted to take my own business. And going to Gen Con and getting to meet so many people for the first time in person, and having so many people that honestly, I know I project confidence, but I am the least confident person you will probably ever meet. I'm just really good at faking it. And having so many people seek me out and come up to me that I admire and that I have followed on social media and say that, oh my gosh, I love what you do. Like, I wish I could do what you do, or I want to know how you do this. And just getting to chat with people one-on-one and just realize like, oh, I'm not alone and I should probably reach out to more folks than I actually do. It was an eye-opening experience, and it actually made me feel like I am a part of a bigger community. Because let me tell you, content creation can be very isolating sometimes. I took that lesson from Gen Con, and I'm really trying to be more proactive about just talking to people outside of, I don't know, conventions.
I think I had a very similar.
That's awesome.
A lot of people knew what Morning Ritual was, and it was surprising.
Yeah, it also really helped that I had a friend. Shout out Ted from Nerd Immersion. He took me by the hand all weekend, and anyone I was too scared to talk to, he was either like, I don't care, I'll do the opening line, or he was like, I already know them, let's go say hi. So I never yeah, so like he was incredibly kind at being my buffer for the weekend, and I was able to just be like, oh hi, I'm here too, I'm Ted's little buddy. And I got to meet a lot of really wonderful folks, because he made it significantly less scary than my anxiety told me it was, and I really appreciated that.
Hell yeah.
Can I just say, having been on the other side of that, having been the person that has introduced folks to other folks, that's a security blanket going both ways, in the sense that I've done that to give myself false confidence, because it's just like, if I go to say hi for me, no jinx, but I can do things for other people. So I think, you know, I hope that helps, knowing that you probably helped probably helped Nerd Immersion a little bit as well with that.
It's really funny, like the more like I do step out of my comfort zone, the more I do talk to people about that. It's really funny, like it'll turn into the Spider-Man meme of the I thought you were cool too, but yeah, I think you and I had that moment when I was like, hey, do you want to be in Apocalypse Keys? I'm just a little guy, do you want to come play a game with me?
But I'm just a little guy, why would you want me to be on a game with you? You're so cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I do struggle with, just like people perceiving me in a way of being cooler than them, when I'm just a person with some good lighting who gets to be a goofy little dude all the time.
The TTRPG
really,
space is just a bunch of little guys in a trench coat.
Yeah, we're all just really scared to talk to one another. So if there's someone that like you want to play a game with, or like you want to like you're interested in like getting to like ask to be on your channel, like seriously reach out to them. The worst case scenario, they're gonna say no, I don't have time. The best case scenario, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I got that day free, let's play some games.
Or they ghost you in the DMs.
Or they ghost you, which I mean is fine too. But at least you did it, because if you don't reach out, the answer's always no.
I gotta tell you, every person that has ghosted us, we eventually time passes and we're like, oh, we dodged the bullet.
That's true. That's true.
I'm thinking of like the 3 bummers that we had, and we're like, oh, we really.
There was one person that I reached out to in the DMs after they said that they were interested on Twitter, and I reached out to them in the DMs, no response, ghosted, and then things.
So anyway, damn, we sassy today.
Yeah, I hope that one day.
Episode.
Yeah, I hope one day I can be like Ted or like you, Noir, and I hope one day that I can be the person who takes someone by the hand and makes it less scary to be in that situation, because that was a huge honor for me to have people who do that for me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm just so nervous all the time about everything. I'm so anxious.
I just have tummy troubles all the time, but I think you're all neat.
Do you know what my secret is when I reach out to guests for Morning Ritual?
What?
I type out the message and I hit enter, and then I leave whatever room that I'm in. I drop my phone, I leave my computer, and I walk away like I just threw a grenade. Every single time. That is the secret.
It really is. It really is hilarious.
You know what I do? What I used to do when I was contacting companies to like seek sponsorship or something, I would write the email and then I would have one of my friends read it back to me to just be like, give the second thumbs up. And that was the only way I could hit send on that email, is if I knew someone else was like, yes, this is good to go.
I drop it like it's a bomb, and I just leave, and I don't check anything for at least an hour.
We're gonna need you to be our sensei when it comes to reaching out to companies, because we can reach out to guests. It's companies that we're scared shitless of.
I'm still figuring that out too, so we can learn together.
But I had a thing and then I lost it. My brain is the worst.
You'll get it. You'll get it back.
Yeah, you need to save me because my brain just went completely empty. I had something too.
What would you consider your biggest win has been in the space so far?
Oh, that's a good
question. Biggest win? Winning Best Legacy TTRPG channel.
Hell
yeah!
I walked into that award show just happy to meet so many people. Because we weren't first, like it was just essentially just award nominees in that room. There weren't, it wasn't even packed. Like it was a really good time to just like go around and like meet people and say hi for the first time and shake a couple hands. And I walked in there, like I looked at the other channels that I was up against. I was like, no way. You're shitting me. No way. There's no, I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna wear my comfy Birkenstocks. I'll maybe fix my hair a little bit and I'll walk right in. I'm gonna clap for everybody. I'm gonna be really loud. And then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna have a couple drinks with my friends. And then my name was called. Then I had to walk past CB and Gabe. And I had no idea what to say. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I wish I had worn better shoes. But that meant, I'm tearing up now. That meant a lot to me to win that. And to get to hug people who were there that had been on my channel when I had 200 followers on Twitch. I'm still not a very big channel compared to a lot of the other AP channels out there, but getting to be recognized in that way, that was a part of Gen Con, just being that push of like, yeah, I do belong in this space, telling stories with folks on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight and the dog.
No fear, baby.
I don't.
That's on a no fear t-shirt.
Inside every actual play channel, there are 2 wolves.
2 chihuahuas.
2 little guys.
2 chihuahuas.
Just 2 little guys.
Both of them are gay.
One's gay, the other's also gay.
2 gay little gobos.
We're gay over here.
Oh, we are so gay over on my channel, let me tell you. Good lord.
Hell yeah.
I'm running a dating sim in 5e.
5e is a dating sim.
It is.
And if it's not, you're playing it wrong. What about the epic battles in the Wargaming?
No, I'm here to smooch my friends, baby. Let's go. I'm playing a trash monster.
The epic battles in Wargaming. Noir, do you mean our 3rd date?
Right?
Come on. Told you, if the swords aren't crossing on the battlefield, I don't want
it. You can't date me. You haven't even made me bleed my own blood.
You're going to earn my love.
I think we're all punch drunk, so that's gonna bring us
okay.
Ooh, to the big one. This is the question. This is the oldest question in Morning Ritual.
The first question.
It's the That Guy segment. Now, if you have been in the TTRPG space long enough, you've probably had the displeasure of playing with a That Guy. A That Guy is a black hole of fun that if they were yeeted into the sun, your enjoyment of the experience at the table would increase tenfold. So my question to you, Is my soundboard working? Is that what that is?
It is. Yeah.
Awesome. My question to you, Sarah, have you experienced a that guy? Now, I should warn you before you answer this. We have had that guys as light as railroading GMs to as severe as someone that helped another player make a character, built the character wrong, bit them on the neck, and then gaslit them about it. So, pretty broad spectrum here. Do you have a that guy story for us?
I'm gonna confine it just to like games that I've been in, because I've also been on channels where like I could make a producer of that guy story. That story you'll have to pay me to get out. So subscribe to the Patreon and maybe I'll tell it later. So yes, I have been in games where the GM ran through a full like safety tools speech. We gave all of our lines and veils and then proceeded to cross them in like session 1. Like the documented man. Don't be that guy. I have also played with the players who can't for the life of them stop antagonizing the party in an unfun way. Please don't be that guy and make me babysit you for an entire campaign. There is a difference between playing a chaotic character and playing a character and being a player that everybody ends up hating.
There's a difference between a chaotic character and a liability.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you're communicating about it and everyone is on the same page, that's a lot of fun. When players keep telling you, this is not fun for me, please stop, and you just laugh at them, you're the problem at the table. And you're the reason why the campaign ends early. So don't be that guy.
Ooh. You're the reason the campaign ends early.
Yeah.
Bars all day today. If you listen, I play annoying asshole characters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like maybe the character is rubbing the party the wrong way, but you still want to play an asshole, check in. Just do check-ins. Like, it doesn't hurt the flow of the game to go, if I'm being too much, just let me know and I'll tone it down.
Or if you say, hey, above table, my character wants to do is going to do XYZ because that's what I think they do. Is that okay with everyone? If not, I will come up with something different. I've done that. I've done that live on air when we were doing our Numenera campaign, because my character was getting ready to do something that could have put the party at disadvantage because it would have taken my character away from the rest of the party. And everyone else said, no, yeah, fucking do that. We need you to do that right now. But had I done it and someone had a problem with that, I would have felt like crap. So just check in with everybody. It's always better to get the yes rather than to ask for forgiveness later. Don't hurt your friends intentionally.
And to follow up with that, if someone does a check-in with you and asks, hey, I'm going to do this thing, is this okay? And you say that it's okay, later on down the road, if you've decided that it's not okay, communicate it.
Yeah.
Don't be salty about the things that have come after you've given your consent for a thing to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean consent can be revoked if you're not in the right headspace for something to happen. So keep that in mind too.
Absolutely.
Games should, aside from the role play aspect, there should always be a dialogue amongst people at the table about what they are and are not comfortable with.
And like, do a check-in afterwards. It's like,
thank you.
I know that I did this. Was this okay? And if you go, you know, I kind of felt a certain way about it. Maybe we'll rein that in next time, or we'll have a conversation about it in character later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, this is inspiring a new question that I want to become part of the show.
You didn't do that. You're that guy, did you?
Oh,
Or no, wait, no, was it Anita that didn't do the?
I
That guy.
didn't do a bad guy. Usually we just have the guests do the bad guy, but
Okay,
I'll do a bad
okay.
guy. I'll do a bad guy.
Is this gonna be back to the?
You know. Get out of my fucking head. Hey, GMs. How's it going? My bad guy is I was playing a character. At the very inception of the character, the GM was just like, you can't, that character concept doesn't fit, so you're gonna have to change things. So I changed the character around to fit the world, which I find somewhat annoying, but okay. It's, you know. But then we're playing the game a couple of episodes, and then we get to the penultimate episode. We're facing the bad guy, and the bad guy throws an innocent out the window, and my character goes to save that innocent person. And waiting for my character at the bottom is like the organization that he's a part of, that he broke a rule to. And earlier in the session, they go, "You've got three strikes, and you get 3 strikes, and you're already at 2." I'm like, okay. So I go to save this person, and that's not against the rules or anything, but for what I still to this day can see as no reason at all, the leader of the organization picks my character up by the throat and then crushes their throat, and they die. And that's the end of the game, everybody. We had such a great session. I hope everybody enjoyed the game. Bye. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that.
That's why I've been petty about it.
Yeah, character death, and Jen brings up character death should always be a conversation beforehand, and I agree. Because I have had characters die in combat.
Yeah.
And for me, I've always just kind of left it up to the party, which Jen does a really beautiful job in her games, which are all the games that I tend to die in, of putting the party through like a ceremony to bring someone back. Which usually has me bawling by the end. But it's always after the party gets to do their callback to that character's soul. It's always been my choice. Like, do I get to come back? And I only think that character death should be something that's kind of risked when the player knows that it could potentially happen. You know it could potentially happen in the back of your mind in combat. But to just like snipe a character out of nowhere,
that's why I was upset. And I've been thinking about it for a while, and the reason that I'm upset, I don't mind a character dying. I do mind a character being killed, and I feel like there's a difference.
Yeah.
If a character dies in pursuit of the narrative or pursuit of whatever their goal is, I don't mind. But if a character is being killed,
yeah, that could have just as easily been you fall into another combat scenario,
right?
And now you have to fight your way out. You could
Right.
die.
And you know what? And I would have accepted that. But it's just like, I think it's having. I am very big on agency. That's why even with enchantment spells, I'm wary. So like if a bad guy does charm person on a player, there's always going to be an above the table moment where it's just like, this is what's happening. This is why they're doing it. And this is what they aim to do with it. Are you okay with that? Because your character may lose control, but I never want to take control of your character.
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Well, there's
Mhm.
like you even
And
did
s-
a little check-in with Enchantment Magic last night when you were running the game. You were like, this character is going to use the Gaius spell on you. Is that okay?" And the other person was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Let's go."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are GMs that I would trust to use those spells on my character, because I've played with them long enough and we've built that relationship. But like a GM that like I'm just now meeting,
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta
it's
earn my trust.
it's gross. It's
Yeah.
gross. And like, and I like. And the thing is, I'm ultra sensitive to losing agency of my character to the point like where one of my pet peeves, and I actually, in one of our Stars and Wishes in our Apocalypse Keys game, I gave you a star because you don't do the pet peeve thing that like every GM does, which is your character walks into a room and they grimace as they see the
Yeah.
viscera on the wall. Like,
Mhm.
first off, you tell me what the world does, and I tell you what my character
Yeah.
does. Like, you don't tell. Like,
Yeah, it's totally not my place to be telling a character what they do or how to
Yeah.
feel unless they're under some form of magic. And if there is going to be magic used on you, I'm gonna make sure you know like what safety lines are there, and at any time like we can just get rid of it. But
And that's
like
something that I find sometimes
yeah,
I have to rein
it's-
myself in on too.
it hates
Is
me.
like
Yeah.
I like, and I realized that I did that during our the one shot that we did for Capers. Is like I realized that AJ. I'm like, AJ, I realized that I ascribed some feelings to your character that you might not necessarily be feeling or doing. How is your character react to this instead? So I felt the moment where I was like, oh no,
I love
I
that you did
overstepped.
that.
I need to pull that back. Tell me.
I had such mad respect for you in that moment when you did that. I am so happy to see when other GMs realize or players realize that they did something that might have like crossed a line or something like that, to be like, I am so sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And it all happens on air because
like
people learn from the behaviors being modeled.
Exactly, and if I
And it
feel
can
like
be
I
really-
overstep at
yeah.
any time, I always do like I do a quick check-in to make sure that it's
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, there's when it comes to like people's lines and stuff in games, like people are so scared to like be like, "Hey, X card, you're crossing a line," or something, because they don't want to make the other person feel bad for like causing them discomfort. But the whole point of the tools, or the whole point of like recognizing when you have accidentally crossed a line, is it stops and you acknowledge it, and then you just move on. Because everyone's human, we're all gonna make mistakes, and those lines and veil sheets are really long. You're probably gonna miss something at some point.
One
Yeah.
correction takes maybe about 10 seconds to do a quick correction,
Mhm.
and it does not take anything away from the scene or the game.
Absolutely. And you will have the respect of your players for forever for doing that.
yeah, that's just one of those things that a lot of GMs do to different degrees,
Mhm.
and it always like it always just kind of sits in the back like even if it was a nanosecond, you took my character away from me. Like fuck.
Yeah,
And I know that
I've
there's-
had that happen too. Yeah.
And I know that there's been times where I know that there's actually one very specific time where I overstepped with Noir's character, and I felt like absolute terrible. Like I still feel bad about the times that I have overstepped with you, Noir, and
Mhm.
I'm still working to atone for myself.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where like, and I really like where this conversation has gone, because I feel like it needs to be had more, because we all hear about like you need to use safety tools, or calibration tools, but I think people need to understand that it's just another mechanic for you to use in your toolbox, and it's okay to make mistakes. You just have to correct them.
Like
So,
Noir says, they're permission
yeah.
slips, not
Yeah.
It's a permission slip from your players. Like,
Yeah,
this is
and
what-
and the more I play with people, the more green items go in, because I trust you more to just handle difficult situations.
Like in to that aspect of it, like I hold the role of GM to almost be like this is gonna sound corny and like, okay, you're going over the top, but I honestly mean it when I say it. The position of GM is sacred. Like it's I hold you to a high standard if you're going to take up the reins of GM, because the characters aren't just characters. Like you know, I've learned a lot about myself by playing these games, and the amount that I've learned about myself has made me realize, like, oh, each character is me trying to teach me something about me. So, like, I'm trusting you with parts of myself that I don't even have figured out yet. Don't be an asshole. Like,
yeah,
you know?
right. Unless this is a meat grinder and I'm walking in with the expectation,
right,
that every single thing that I build for this campaign is gonna die. No, I totally get that. Every character that I build has different parts of me. My longest running character, she has a lot of themes of bodily autonomy that we deal with in the campaign lightly, and themes of understanding ADHD that is undiagnosed, because at the time I was building her, that's where I was in my mental health journey. And that has been a delightful line to play through. Gosh, the other players in that campaign, they made her like fidget toys at one point. It was fantastic. But it's one of those things where there's always going to be a part of you in the art that you create. And I agree, GM should be held to a little bit of a high standard, because you're trusting them with your babies.
There's a responsibility that goes with being a GM that I think a lot of people don't quite realize or don't quite understand, that there needs to be a certain level of care that goes with it. Even if you're GMing something that's like horror, there's still a level of care that you need to go to make sure that your players feel like they are safe, and feel, even though their characters are being put in unsafe situations, there's a certain level of care that is being given, and a certain level of trust that needs to be like given and taken and understood between everybody at the table. Like, we're here to tell a story together. Let's make sure that we do it in a way that honors the gift that we've been given and the gift that we're giving each other.
You know, my friend Sam pointed out something, and I think it's very true, which is you can feel the intent of a player or a GM, not by what they say, but how they present themselves at the table, right? Like, if a person is playing, if a person is taking the role of a GM simply because it's the role that gives them access to the most power, you'll know. It won't take long.
Yeah.
But like, you'll know, you'll feel that intention almost immediately. But if somebody is playing a GM, or if somebody is taking the role of a GM, and they truly want to tell a good story, it doesn't matter how much they know the system. It doesn't matter how experienced they are. You feel that intent as well. And people can learn the system. See, people can homebrew the system. Like, knowledge of the book is so not important in the grand scheme of things.
So secondary.
It's your intention at the table. And that is going to bring me to the new question that I would like to make sure that we ask every guest that we have, which gives us a reason to bring people back so they can answer this question, which is, we are building the TTRPG commandments.
Oh,
you get to add one.
Okay.
What does Sarah put into the TTRPG commandments?
What are some of them that have already been
This is
added
brand
so
new.
far?
Well,
Brand new. Am I the first one?
I will tell you what I'll add to it.
Okay.
So you can the perfect table is one where no one person's fun is the priority at the table, where everybody's fun is just as important to everyone else. You can feel it. You can feel it the moment somebody decides my fun is more important than your fun, and that power imbalance is what ends campaigns.
I think mine would be. It's sort of building on that, but it's a little bit different.
Oh, go for it.
I'm trying to think of how to word it. Everyone at the table should be just as invested in each other's stories as they are in their own.
Yeah.
That's something that people are think that, you know, hiring someone who's just a good performer on their own to do an actual play is what makes the actual play good. But if you watch all of these larger shows, it doesn't matter how good of a voice actor they are or what type of character they create for themselves. The people who really shine on these larger shows and what makes them popular is that everyone at the table is invested in each other's stories. They're not there trying to think, they're not sitting there thinking of what they're going to say next. They are actively listening to what is happening and thinking of how their character would respond to that situation in that moment after they've taken in all the information actively. And I think that's incredibly important. And it's a skill. And not a lot of people in the AAP space have it. So
I like this.
Work on it.
So Sarah's commandment. Everyone at the table should be just as invested in other people's story as their own.
Yeah.
I like it. We're putting that down as Sarah's commandment.
Hell yeah. Work on your active listening skills, everybody. Have a whole lot more fun. It's a little hard with ADHD, but
who you telling? I'm still looking at that lightsaber like, ooh, I'm gonna play with it.
I'm sitting here trying to remember if I remember to take my meds this morning, so.
All right. So our final, this is where we're gonna, this is where we land the plane. Our final segment is the community spotlight. This is where we give you the chance to let people know who needs some more love, to lend the platform over to people you think should be getting far more attention than they're getting. And also we use this as a list for who we reach out to next. So who are you putting the spotlight on? Who am I
Indoor
hunting?
Adventures.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker's gonna be here regardless.
Simon from Indoor Adventures. I get to do multiple, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You stop when you run out of breath. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm long-winded, pal. Simon from Indoor Adventures has been doing this longer than I have, and deserves all the recognition, and more people need to know who he is. RJ, our Justice 282, has been one of my longtime TTRPG pals. Also plays over on Simon's channel. A wonderful voice actor, wonderful TTRPG performer. Unfortunately does do a lot of puns noir. I'm sorry. But
It's okay.
every single time I see him on a channel, he is an absolute delight, and he is so damn smart when it comes to how he plays his characters. Let's see. I swear I know people.
Never met another person
Zachary
who-
Vaudo.
Okay.
Yep, it's Zach on Twitter. I see links popping up. Zach is one of the kindest humans that I have had the privilege of meeting through friends in the TTRPG community. He is a phenomenal performer, a incredibly talented musician. I found out he was a musician, and he's now done 3 intro songs for my shows, one of which is the Apocalypse Keys theme.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Zach is incredibly talented. Let's see. I'm going to bounce over to the TikTok side of things and say Gnome Ann. They're a joy and a delight, and I had the privilege of meeting them at Gen Con. If you like mushrooms and Furbies and just being a little TTRPG goblin, that's the person for you. Also Alec the Bard, another fabulous performer, fabulous human.
Good people.
Reached out to me when I expressed in just like a friends only post that I struggle to talk to people, and was like, hey, I have a Discord server. If you're interested, I'll send you the link, but you'll be able to meet people there. And then I joined and never said a damn word in there. Sorry, Alec. But was another person that I finally got to meet in person at Gen Con, and is incredibly kind, incredibly sweet. His wife is also fantastic. They're both a delight. Let's see. I think you all know AJ already, so I'm not going to shout out AJ.
AJ as in who's your kid?
Yeah.
That's our technical
Fuck
director. here on the
that
show.
guy. We fucking hate that guy. No spotlight for. No, I'm just kidding. I love me some AJ.
Yeah, and just to round it out, two artists that I am incredibly privileged to be friends with is Alyssa Vamp Art, who I mentioned earlier. They are just an absolute joy to work with. They do all of the artwork for my channel. They keep me in line. They keep me sane. And they are so incredibly talented at everything that they put their hands on. I enjoy them so much. And finally, another artist is Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com. I believe they're also Danae Keener on Twitter. Does all of the artwork over on the Indoor Adventures channel. Has become one of my good pals. And she is always just an absolute delight to have at a table or just have on a call when you need someone to just chat to for a while and talk about your day with. So those are the folks that I think everyone should know. Some a bit more perceived than others. But those are the names that are in my head right now.
Okay, so we're gonna put together a compilation of these five folks.
Please do.
Sarah, thank you so much for joining us and exposing us to some fantastic people and a kick-ass commandment. We're going to be sharing that with we're going to share the commandments as we asked for them. So yours is the
Delightful.
very first.
I'm so excited. I'm the first in something, y'all.
But that has been this episode of Morning Ritual. I am your soon-to-be beef-filled host, Noir. You can find me nowhere. I'm dipping out of the TTRPG space. Don't perceive me. And then we've got our second host, Anita. Tell those people about you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anita. I am a TTRPG streamer, graphic designer, producer, and cat mom about the space. Speaking of, get out of here, you fucking nerd. You can find me everywhere at Pinita, and I am the channel runner and founder of Critical Misses, so you can find me here, either on camera or behind the scenes running TAC. You can sign up for games. We've got a couple games that are looking for some players, especially if you are a BIPOC player. We're looking for a couple more BIPOC folks to join in on our Monday game that's GM'd by Maybe Mayhem. And other than that, Star Trek on Tuesdays over on Modifius' channel. Indoor Adventures channel on Sundays for Apocalypse Keys, Morning Ritual Saturdays, and our guest next week is one Amelia Tyler, who you might know as the narrator from Baldur's Gate 3. So tune in for that.
Excited.
I'm gonna ask her to say such weird shit. Are you weird?
But that has been our show. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are going to go and say hello to a good friend of ours.
But first, we're going to see where we can find Sarah. Sarah,
my brain. Thank you very much for keeping us on track with that.
It's fine. Yeah, gosh, you can find me all over the internet, everybody, as the Hype Goblin. Specifically, I have a few things to shout out aside from the game that I run for these two delightful humans over on Indoor Adventures channels on Sundays. On Thursdays, I run a 5e homebrew campaign, Luck and Chaos. And on Sundays in the morning, I play on my channel a Pathfinder 2e game called Nexus Adventures. If you don't want to watch live, we do have podcasts of both shows, and that's kind of what I'm pushing. So they take I'm the only editor, and it takes me a lot of work. So if you really like me, please go follow my podcast because those are my babies right now. Also, on November 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be raising money for the Entertainment Community Fund with the Crit Awards. We are, that'll be, again, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on October 21st, I will be playing in a 9-hour Dungeons and Dragons marathon with Roll for Wishes, with Legends of Logomancy, and the Tiltify is already out. I will send this to Anita to put into chat. But we are looking to raise $5,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Chat will be able to mess with us. You will be able to give us boons, give us magic items, and we are already taking that stuff in now. So if you go to the Tiltify link and you can't participate on the day of, please feel free to donate ahead of time. Just say who it's for. Everybody who is participating is listed on the Tiltify site now with our photos. So just if you want to give something to me, just say the one with the pink hair. I'm the only one with pink hair. But I'm really excited to play with this group. This is the I think they've done this for several years now, and they've raised a ton of money for charity every single year, and I am so honored to be a part of it. And last but not least, I'm giving away 5 3-day tickets to PAX Unplugged. So if you would like to win those or check out my schedule for all of the things that I do on the internet, go to hypegoblin.com. Everything is that you need to find me or enter to win is there. And I hope that if you are one of the winners, we can high five at PAX. Hopefully, with Noir and Anita there too. We can just, high five video.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna listen. I miss.
You better enter.
I miss Big Bad Con. I'm coming to PAX.
I am so excited for PAX. And for anyone who wants to meet one of my partners in crime, RJ, he's going to be at PAX with us as well.
Hey.
So is Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com. And if you know one of my other former podcast co-hosts, Josiah, aka Dungeon Dad, he's going to be there as well. And we're just going to travel in a little horde of goblins. It's gonna be great. Anyways, that's me.
Little goblin horde.
A little horde. Just a little guy.
But he's gay.
Oh, so gay.
But okay. That has been our show. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you again, Sarah, for coming and hanging out and chatting with us this morning. Afternoon now. We are gonna head on out of here. Who we gonna say hello to, everybody?
Eric's on a Saturday, which is weird.
Eric?
16-bit Eric.
Really?
Oh, what are you doing over there, Eric?
It looks like Eric is just chatting. Perhaps we shall chat with Eric.
Let's go chat.
Hello, Eric. It's time to chat.
Let's head over to 16-bit Eric. We will see you all over there. Thank you again so much for joining us. But until next time, the ritual has concluded. Bye, everybody.
Bye.